let's put you on speaker. We've got you, Svetlana. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. So happy to see you. So I think I wanted to make sure that everybody got their pattern, right? So everybody knows what materials we're working on, and we all have our pattern pieces cut out for the pouch, right?
Can I check
that? I want to make sure we do.
Yeah.
In case you are one of the people that needs to still do it, maybe do it while we talk about it. That might be a good idea. So I can hop over to my other camera where I have already all my stuff cut out, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that right there. So I need to run to it, and here we go. So as you can see, here, can you see it okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, it's not upside down or anything. Yeah?
No, it's
all
better.
Right. So the same way as I have my pouch right here, just the same way as it says in the pattern, we are going to be making a welted zipper pocket right here on the back of your pouch. We will be adding the main zipper to the pouch right here. So these are the two main things we'll be learning. And as with this pouch, I'm using Essex linen for the main body of my pouch. I already added the interfacing to the back side. And I'm using quilting cotton for the pretty top flap right here. Okay, you could use some thicker fabric if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend to go too thick because the pouch is kind of small, so you don't want to add too much bulk to it. Now, as you can see, I'm using metal zippers, but you can definitely use nylon zippers if that's what you have on hand or that's what you prefer to work with. And this will be my lining. So the lining for the zipper pocket is right here, and the main lining is right here. Okay, and again, I'm using quilting cotton for the lining. You could use some slightly thicker fabric, maybe some cotton linen blend if you wanted to, but then I'd recommend just not adding the interfacing at all to that. If that's what you'd like to do, here's my button, of course. And for the loop, I'm using this real leather deerskin leather lace right here. I get asked about it a lot. I also use it for my zipper pulls, and I get that on Amazon or at most of the craft stores carry this, so you can purchase it. And here is just my ribbon. The ribbon is optional. You don't really have to use it if you don't want to. So now that we went over the materials, does anybody have a question about what we are doing, or are we okay? Can we continue?
Okay. Yeah, we're okay, Svetlana.
Yeah, okay, wonderful. So I'm going to set most of my things aside for now and just work with my two main exterior panels first, okay? So I like to place them right sides together. Now make sure your 9.5 inch edge is down here. And I usually, before I start cutting, I just want to double check that I really am working with the right edge, because this is 9 inches tall by 9.5 inches wide, okay? So it's quite easy to just confuse the sides and then it would be a problem. So along the 9.5 inch edge right here, I'm going to mark 1 inch corner right here, 1 inch square along this corner. And I'm going to use this fabric marking pen. This one is water soluble. So when I spray some water on it, it goes away. And this one is air soluble. So either of these would work well, or you can use Taylor's chalk if you want, but just something that you know will disappear eventually. And as I place these squares, the square along the side edge and the bottom edge, I'm just gonna draw the square right here. See, on this edge, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So along the two bottom corners, like so. And now I'm gonna take my fabric shears and cut this out. Here we go. Okay, you need nice sharp fabric scissors to be able to do that correctly. Okay, and here are my two panels. I'm going to set one of the panels aside and we'll work with this one later. But I'm just going to do the same cutting on my linings, okay? So again, I would place my linings right sides together and cut these 1-inch corners along 9.5-inch edge. Okay, so again, 9.5-inch edge. And I'll set it all aside. Hold on, I didn't notice the question right here. You know what, I'm just gonna turn.
Yes, did you say 1-inch square? That was from Lauren.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 1-inch square.
Yeah.
I'll just be kind of turning it one way and then the other.
Yeah.
So I can see the questions. Okay, so do we have any questions about these corner cutouts? Because this is going to be the gusset, or that's how we box our corners, okay? Yep. So you wanna make sure it's 1 inch on all 4 corners. Mm-hmm. All right, any questions?
Nope.
No questions, wonderful. So we set these panels aside, the exterior, the lining panels all go aside. All I'm going to bring now is my zipper pocket lining. So this is my 7-inch wide by 12-inch tall panel. Okay, and for this one, we don't have any interfacing adhered to this panel. This is just the quilting cotton. And again, like I said, you could use some thicker fabric for the main lining of the pouch, but for the zipper pocket, I usually find quilting cotton works the best because it gives you just the right amount of stability without adding too much bulk to what we're working on. All right, so now let's place the fabric. We place it right side down. And actually for this step, I'm going to mark the placement of my pocket. And I like to use my cutting mat for this, because as you can see, you have these wonderful cutting lines right here. So if you line up your panel perfectly with all the lines, it makes your life so much easier.
Svetlana,
so the way,
sorry,
yes.
Rosa said, is it okay if she leaves out that pocket?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You do not need to add the pocket. If you want just plain panel, works totally fine. Okay. And like this pocket, this is one of those pockets that once you learn how to do it, you can then add it to pretty much any bag, the outside or the inside of the bag, and you can just customize it depending on what zipper you have on hand. So it's a really, really handy pocket to know. Okay, so even if you're not making it, that's totally fine. We'll just go over the whole process and you can just watch. Maybe you'll try it some other time. So as I said before, we're going to place the fabric right side down, okay? We are drawing our pocket opening on the wrong side of the fabric. And as I said before, I lined it up really neatly with all my lines on the cutting mat. Can you go through what we have to do with the lining of the bag? Oh, sure. I had a question there. So here's my lining of the bag. And all you needed to do is cut out these corners the same way as we did for the exterior panels, okay? So you have the 1-inch corner cutout right here. Does that make sense for everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
No one is making any comments.
So are we ready for the pocket then?
Yeah. Let's do
okay,
it.
Cool. All right. So once again, everything is neatly lined up. And again, like aligning things up is really important for the pocket because you're putting it on the outside of the bag. So you don't want anything to be crooked or skewed or something like that. So I line up my panel and now I need to draw a 5-inch line 1 inch down from the top edge, and 5-inch line because I'm using a 5-inch long zipper. And now make sure that when you're measuring your zippers, you measure from one end right here to the end stop right here. So we never measure the length of the zipper tape right here, just the teeth, okay, including the stops. So this is my 5-inch zipper. And now to draw the line, as you can see, I'm using my lines on my cutting mat. So I line up my ruler 1 inch down from the top edge. like so. And I line up the edges right here as well. And since this is a 7-inch fabric, I know I will have 1 inch on this side exposed and 1 inch here. And my 5-inch line will go right here. See, so I start 1 inch from the edge, draw my line, and finish 1 inch from the edge again. See how it is? And it's exactly 1 inch from the top edge. So you can definitely do this step without the cutting mat, but I find that cutting mat makes everything so much easier for me because it has the lines already. Okay.
There was a question, Svetlana, from Laurie again. She said, where do we use the interfacing, on the lining or the main fabric?
The interfacing is on your, it is on your exterior fabric, and it's also on your main lining. This is the lining for the zipper pocket. It has no interfacing. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, all right. Okay, so is it clear how we draw the first line? Yeah.
Is that okay with everybody?
Everyone is okay? All right, so what we are going to do, now we'll just move the ruler 1/2 inch down in exactly the same position where we kept our marks lined up with the edges of the lining. Just move it down by 1/2 inch, like so. And again, draw another 5-inch line. Here we go. It's the 5-inch line. So now you have 2 parallel lines. They're both 5 inches long, and there is 1/2 inch in between the lines. Okay. All right. Is that everyone is doing okay with their lines?
Karen has just said, help, I ordered a 5-inch metal zipper, but it is a bit larger. Can I adjust slightly?
So if your zipper is a tiny bit larger, like for example, if I had, I don't know, 5 1/4 inch zipper or something, then I would add 1/8 inch on one side and 1/8 inch on the other side right here to my line. So adjust your line. So this way your line is as long as your zipper, okay? Just make sure it is centered. So if you need to add 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch to one side, add it to the other side as well here. And you still have enough room here that you can definitely add a little bit to your opening, right? And once we have these 2 lines, I just connect them right here. I don't usually use a ruler for that, but you can definitely use a ruler if you wish. So now we have this little square right here, or a rectangle, I'm sorry. What to do with it? So if you are using a 6-inch zipper, somebody asked, you can only get much longer zippers. Can you just cut down? With cutting down the zippers, I personally am not a huge fan of cutting down metal zippers because I don't think they end up looking so good. They can definitely damage your machine if you sew over them. But if you have a nylon zipper, you can use as long a zipper as you want. Like it really doesn't matter. And it would work because you can sew over it and you can cut it down. And actually once we do the zipper opening, I can bring out a nylon zipper and I'll show you how I would add that to my zipper. Okay?
Yes, because Sandy just said,
you're welcome.
If you could only get much longer zippers, can you just cut down to 5 inches? Nylon is what she has. So yeah, with nylon is fine.
Yeah. And it works really well. It looks pretty. You can make it look really nice when you use nylon zippers as well. So really use what you have on hand. Don't worry about it. I know 5-inch zippers are sometimes a little bit tricky to find. So yeah, cutting it down is perfect. Okay. And so if you are using a 6-inch zipper, if you're using a nylon zipper, just use the same opening as we did, and you're just gonna cut it down eventually, like in the next step. I'll show you how to do that. But if you were using metal zipper that is 6 inches long, you could still possibly use this fabric right here. You would just make your opening 6 inches wide, okay? But I wouldn't really recommend using anything longer than that because you just don't have enough space on this fabric. Then you'd need wider fabric. Any other questions? Okay, no more. All right, so we have our rectangles right here and we need to draw one more line, and this line is going to go through the middle of this rectangle, and it's going to start 1/4 inch from this edge and end 1/4 inch from this edge. So I'm just going to do it like this. I just line up my 1/4 inch mark with the bottom line and start right here. Okay, so here's the line. Okay, it's not perfectly centered, but it's okay because we are not even using it for sewing. This is just a guideline. And I started and finished it 1/4 inch before I got to the end. And now I'll just join these into a little V on both sides, like that. All right. So, okay, how are we doing?
Yep, no more questions.
Yep. Everyone's doing okay, great, great. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so what we are going to do now is line up this pocket lining with the exterior panel, and that's the one where we will be adding the pocket. Okay, so bring one of your exterior panels right here, place it on your cutting mat or on any flat surface really. But again, I like to use my cutting mat for that because once again, it helps me with lining everything up. Okay, and the pocket now is going to be placed 1.5 inches from the top, pocket lining. So what I like to do is place my ruler right here along the 1.5 inch mark from the top, okay? So find 1.5 inches right here, line it up. And I actually, to make sure that I have it exactly in the middle, I know this is 9.5 inches, and then bring your lining as close to the ruler as possible and line it up with the ruler, okay? So you line up the lining's top edge with the ruler right here. And you will have 1.25 inch right here of the fabric and 1.25 inch on this side. Is this right side out? Okay, so the panel is right side up. Okay, your exterior panel right side up. Your inner facing is down here on your mat, and your lining is right side down. So the lining and the panel are right sides together. All right. I know it gets a little bit confusing sometimes, but we were making the opening, drawing the opening on the wrong side of the lining, okay? All right, so let me just repeat one more time so you can see how it looks right now. You see, when you look at it down here, you see that everything is straight and lined up. We have the same amount of fabric on both sides of the pocket, and the pocket lining is 1.5 inches from the top edge, okay? Now, once I have it like this, I take my pins and just pin it in place. I try not to move it much, so I kind of hold my hand here, lift it up, add the pin, and then add another one. And again, a cutting mat is really good for that because you don't damage your table when you do that. Somebody asked the question. Let me see, what was the question?
Okay, let's have a look. So Laurie said, I'm lost, can you start again? Jane said, is this the right side out or wrong side out? Did you answer that one, Svetlana?
Yeah, I did. Is that clear with right and wrong sides, or should we go over it again?
Let's see, I'll ask that question. And is the width 9 inches?
The width is 9.5 inches, because you see, this is where you have your cutouts right here. This is the bottom of your pouch here. And so we are adding a pocket right here. So it's going to be like this on your pouch, okay? So the cutouts are down here. So this is a 9.5 inch edge, okay? 9.5 inch edge right here. And this is 9 inch, how tall this is. Okay, so we are working with 9.5 inch side.
Is that okay now, Laurie? Are you still lost? Do you need anything? Or does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I understand that, but the actual pocket, what's the width of the pocket? Because it doesn't look.
The width of the pocket, this is going to be the 5 inch opening right here. And the width of the pocket, this is the panel that we already cut out at the beginning. And this is 7 inches wide by 12 inches long.
So what measurements are you putting in the middle? What, 1.5 inches each side?
No, this is 5 inches wide. So it starts 1 inch from the edge and 1 inch from the edge.
No, I mean it's sitting on top of the outer lining.
This right here is 1.5 inches.
And the side one?
The side one is 1.25 and 1.25. But as long as you center your lining, it will, even if you had slightly more or less there, you shouldn't, but even if you did, it's okay. They just need to be the same size right here.
1.5 down and 1.25 in each side, yeah?
Yeah,
okay,
because
lovely.
this is because the lining is 7 inches wide and we are adding it to 9.5 inch side. So we have 2.5 inches that we need to divide in half. So it's 1.25 and 1.25.
Yeah, right, I get that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, pleasure. Any other questions? Because I want to make sure that everybody has their pocket ready and lined up before we move on to the next step, because we don't want to confuse people, or, you know, we don't want to lose you along the way.
Okay, so let's just ask that question. So are we all ready to move on to the next step?
Yeah.
Say no if you
just
are not ready.
Again. Okay, so
Laurie has just said, can you just tell me again?
Which part?
I don't know. I don't
Laurie?
know. Laurie, it is.
Can Laurie. I just sorry, can you just tell me the measurements from the top again?
So this is 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches.
1.5, okay.
Yeah, so you place your ruler at 1.5 inch point, okay? Line it up with 1.5 inches and then bring your lining up towards the ruler. Butt it against it this way. It will make it easy for you to line it up. And you will have 1.25 inches on this side and 1.25 inches on this side. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And then your opening, like I said before, is 5 inches long and 1/2 inches tall. Both pieces. Yeah, exactly. You can fold both pieces in half, and this way you'll know that they're lined up exactly through the middle. Okay. And even just have a look at your piece also. Make sure that it all looks even. You can see if it wasn't. So
yeah. Laurie, Becky has written, fold both pieces in half and match the folds.
Yeah.
Then 1.5 inches down.
Exactly. And again, just to make sure that our right sides are together. Okay, because I know the Essex linen sometimes can make it confusing because it looks the same on both sides, but I have interfacing on my wrong side. Okay, so right sides of your exterior panel and right sides of the pockets lining are together, like so. I already added 2 of my pins, but I'm going to add 2 more just to hold it in place. Here we go. Okay, so you can pin more if you want to on each side as well. I find 4 pins work just fine. They hold it in place for me well. But again, like if you feel more comfortable adding more pins, you can definitely do that. All right. Now, how is everybody doing now? Because the next step will be going to the sewing machine and stitching around the rectangle that we drew. But before we move on, I wanted to make sure everybody is ready with their pocket. I see Elaine is fine.
Yeah, there's lots of thumbs up. Melissa is actually dancing while she's putting her thumbs up.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Just Jude is there. She's put a thumbs up, but you know, she's had a bit of practice as Jude. She had a bit of practice. Yeah, made a bag or two.
Absolutely. Have fun. Okay. All right, cool. So we are going to take this to our sewing machine and we'll stitch all the way around this rectangle. Now the drawn rectangle, so just the outside, okay? We are ignoring the parts on the inside. Just go all the way around here and I will backstitch when I come to the end of the rectangle, right? So I'm going to switch my camera so I can bring it to my sewing machine and we'll start sewing.
No problem.
All right. Here we are. Yes, we are sewing on the drawn line. So let me show you once again where we are sewing, okay? Can you see it well? Where it's being sewn right here, along the outline. So the first two lines that we drew that were parallel lines, and then we just joined them together. So these on the outside of this rectangle, okay? So I usually start in the corner right here, bring my needle down.
And Svetlana,
you know, again, like try to sew along the line as much as possible. If you like, don't stay exactly on it, exactly, not the end of the world. But if you have like a major wobble, I would just suggest maybe stop, rip out a few stitches and start again, because it's okay if it's not one continuous stitch. You can start again and keep going over it, okay? You want this pocket to look as nice and as straight as possible when you turn it right side out. So I started this corner.
Sorry, Svetlana. Yes. Sean has asked, what needle size and stitch length do you recommend?
Okay, so this one, I'm just using a universal needle, which is, what is it, 80-12? I find that works well for most of my pouches, especially when I'm just working with quilting cotton. I'm using a standard polyester thread. Most of the time I just use polyester thread for my sewing. I use Gutermann brand because it's easy to get here in Europe, and it's not that expensive. So, and for the stitch length, I have a Juki machine and my standard stitch length is about 2.5. So that's what I use on here. I know it can vary depending on the machine you use, but just something, you don't want to go with something too tiny, but also you don't want to go with a stitch that is too big, because then your stitching will not look really that nice, and it can come undone if you don't have enough stitches in there. So I find 2.5 is good.
Okay, great.
Right?
Laurie said, are you stitching on the drawn line? And
yes,
looking at that, yes, you are.
Yes. So the drawn line is my guide. Okay. I want my needle to stay on the drawn line as much as possible. And when I come to this corner right here, or to any corner, I leave my needle down, turn my fabric, stitch along the side. So every time I get in the corner, I finish in the needle down position, because I want these to be nice, sharp corners. Okay, so let's start stitching, and I'll pause again when I get to this point right here. So I usually like to, when I start, I like to just hold the tails of my thread just for a little bit, because I found out it doesn't give me these ugly knots on the bottom of my stitching when I just hold it for a few seconds when I start. So, oops, I have to turn on the machine, and now I can start. Okay. So I got to the end of my line, keeping my needle in the down position, lift up my presser foot, turn it at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to take out my pins because they'd be in my way. You don't, like, it's okay to sew around the pin if it's not in your way, but if it is, just take it out, okay? You don't want to have any unnecessary wobbles there. So needle down position, turn it at a 90-degree angle and stitch along the short end right here. And again, once I get to the corner, I finish with in a needle down position, lift up my presser foot, turn my fabric again at a 90-degree angle, and keep stitching along the long drawn line. Okay, and take the pins out right here. And again, another corner, needle down, turn it, stitch. And as I come to the last corner, I still stitch a few more stitches and back stitch just to secure everything in place. Okay, so if I know that I'm going to stitch over stitch line again, I don't really have to back stitch all the time. But if it's like this, I always want to back stitch to make sure all my stitches are secured and they won't come undone. All right, okay. So now that this is done, I'm again gonna run over to the other camera because we are going to be doing a little bit of pressing and a little bit of cutting too, okay, before we can move on to the next step. So make sure if you didn't stitch all the way around your pocket, make sure to do that. And we'll continue with the next step right here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna bring my pressing board right here and my iron. Okay, so when you sew bags, I always suggest press as you go, okay? Trim your threads and press as you go, because if you do a good job pressing your fabrics as you go, you will usually end up with a prettier looking bag. And I use, this is just a regular Tefal iron that I bought at a store here, but you need to have a cotton setting on it, and some steam is really good if you have that. So I have it on my cotton setting. I have steam in my, or water in my sewing machine so I can get the steam. And what I like to do first is just set the stitches. So I place the iron down and just hit it with a little bit of steam. And just the same way as in quilting, it helps those stitches to get into your fabric a little bit better. So it's always a good thing to do, is to make it all nice and smooth. I'm gonna set it aside and place it on my cutting mat. Okay, now we need to cut along this middle line right here. Now you have to be careful here. Hold on, let me bring it maybe a little bit closer. Can you see it better? Because I want to make sure that we all know that it's only going to be cut from this point right here, cut along this middle line right here, all the way to this point. Okay, not anywhere else. So from this point where one V starts, cut, 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 until this point. And actually I found out like the best way for me to cut is I use my ruler and a small rotary cutter, place my ruler along the line, and I just kind of do a cut, not all the way, but in the middle, kind of. You see almost starting here and almost finishing here. And then I use my fabric shear to finish the cut. So I cut up to here, up to the ending point right here. And then when you have nice sharp scissors, you just line them up right here so you come as close to this little corner as possible, right? So here you need to be careful right here so you don't cut into your stitches. So come as close to the corner as possible without cutting the stitches. Now, it happens to everybody that we sometimes cut into the stitches. If that does happen, just take it back to your sewing machine and restitch around the part where you cut the stitches. Okay? You don't want to have any holes in your pocket. And again, I'm going to cut right here. So I'm using the drawn lines as a guide. Can you see how I cut like this? This is how it's cut. And then I'm going to cut the other side as well. And again, just cut up to here and then use my shears right here to come to the end here and this corner right here. So this is what your pocket should look like at this point. You have your stitches on the outside right here. And then you have these little V's and the cut in the middle. All right. Now, is this step clear for everyone? Do we have any questions? I see Karen's giving thumbs up. Wonderful.
Yep, I don't think anything at the moment.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. All right. Okay, so back to my pressing board. And I don't do much pressing for my pocket before I turn it, but I do like to press just 2 seams. So I fold my pocket up like that and press this seam right here. Here it was a little bit of steam where the stitches are. Okay, so here, bring it back down and do the same on the top side. So again, fold it like this and just press right here. I find that just these 2 little presses help me turn the pocket right side out and end up with a slightly more even pocket. So here, I just folded it up like this, pressed it right here, and folded it up here and pressed it right here. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna wait until you guys finish your pressing and then we can move on to the next step. All right. Okay. Are we ready now for the next step? Cool, any questions? No questions, okay, good. All right, so now this is the magic, the turning the pocket right side out. So hold your longer, oh, hold on, I'll come more up so you can see. So hold this long piece of your lining and just bring it through the hole in the pocket and bring it to the wrong side, okay? To the inner facing side of your pocket. Bring the whole pocket, everything. See, you have this little neat hole in the middle right here, and you bring all of your inner lining this side out, okay? So your exterior panel stays like this, and your lining is on the wrong side now, on the inner facing side. All right, so everything should line up neatly. Now, if you see that you have like quite a few puckers here on the sides or something, maybe it's that you need to snip your pocket a little bit closer to your stitching line. But again, if you have just a few little tucks in there, it doesn't really matter. It will disappear. And also we are going to press it. So that will help definitely. Okay, so once your pocket is turned right side out, what I like to do actually is shape it from the exterior side. So I turn it exterior side up and first finger press around the edges of the pocket because I want these lines right here, the edges of the pocket opening to be as neat as possible. So if you run your finger along the seam, it helps it stay in place. And I do the same on the bottom side as well. And I try not to have too much of my lining showing through this little window, but you could definitely use some contrasting fabric if you wanted to and have that lining show a little bit more through the exterior. It really is up to you. So as you can see, I finger pressed my pocket. It just forms a little window right here. And now I'm going to take my iron and place it down and hit it with a lot of steam, okay? So that's why we did all this finger pressing, to make sure that it all looks as neat as possible. And this is what my pocket looks on the exterior side. And this is my pocket on the lining side. And I'm going to press it from both sides, because I want it all to stay as neat as possible. Okay. I'm just going to run to get a zipper. Okay. All right. Is everybody doing okay? Do we have any questions?
No, no more questions at the moment.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. So we have our zipper opening that's already finished, okay? It's ready for the zipper. And we are going to be adding our 5-inch zipper to that pocket. Now, I will show you the nylon zipper in a second. But before we do that, if you are using a metal zipper that's 5 inches long, I just like to do one quick step before I do the pocket assembly. And as you can see, this part right here, the open end of the zipper, it's kind of like comes out like that. So I like to just stitch these sides together just to hold it in place, because I find it makes it easier for me to do the final assembly. So I hold it like this with my fingers, open the zipper, hold this side together, and just stitch back and forth a few times, using about, like, stitching about 1/4 inch away from the edge of the zipper right here, and just stitch like this. And so what happens then, it just gives me kind of this ending on the zipper as I have on this side, and then these sides are kind of opening up when I'm trying to set it in my pocket. Okay, so go ahead and do that. You could definitely do this step by hand if you wanted to, if you don't want to stitch over your zipper, but I just go and stitch. And then, all right, here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So our next step is doing the zipper. As you can see, this is my zipper right here. It's all attached. This is a metal zipper I will be using, but I wanted to show you, if you are using a nylon zipper like this, then I wanted to show you how to attach it to your pocket, okay? So the idea here is we are going to place the zipper right here, place the little window over it, and the zipper is peeking through, right? So that's the idea. You place your zipper right side up on either a table, your cutting mat, any flat surface, and then place the little window right over the zipper, right? So if you were to use a nylon zipper like I have right here, and as you can see, this is a much longer zipper than my little pocket window is. So what I would actually do, I'll just move this edge right here, and I would just use all the pretty parts of the zipper. I'm not using any endings then, and I would just line it up like this. You see? So then when we are stitching around it, because you can stitch over the nylon zipper, you can use any length as long as it's at least 5 inches long, right? And then I'll show you how to attach that zipper to your pocket, but I just wanted you to see how a nylon zipper would work. All right, so this way, actually, if you have a bag and you want to add a pocket to your bag, all you do is just decide how long you want that opening to be, add 2 inches to each side, so you have enough fabric there, and you just go ahead and adjust it to any zipper length, or if you want your wallet to fit in there or something, you know what size of a pocket you would want. So it's a really, really good pocket to know. Now, for my metal zipper, what I'm going to do is, I will show you what I like to do, but you can definitely use just pins for that. But I like to just place it on a piece of paper, and then I use a glue stick, either just a regular paper glue stick, if that's what you have on hand. I'm using this, I think it's English paper piecing glue, because that's what I have on hand right now, but any glue would work okay, because you are only going to place it, or you can place it only on the outside of the zipper, only where it will be sewn. So what I like to do is just dab a little bit of glue on the outside of the pouch. As you can see, I really stay only on the edges. That's why I'm using a paper right here to protect my cutting mat from the glue. Okay. Again, this is just an optional step. It's something that I found it works for me, so I thought I'd share this tip with you, but you don't have to use glue for that at all. And now I'm going to place my pocket window over the zipper, like so. And I want to line it up as much as possible to make sure zipper teeth are neatly in the middle, right here. And when I'm happy with that, I push down on these edges because I know where my glue is, and then it holds my zipper in place. See, I'll move the, so this is what the zipper would look like, but of course I try not to rely just on the glue, and I add a pin on each side as well, just to make sure it holds it in place. Yes, 1/8 inch double-sided tapes work well too. Exactly. You can use a double-sided tape, or you can use, what is this? Oh, I'll show you this thing. The double stick fusible web. Also, this one works well. You just need to use a 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch one if they have that, because this one is too wide for the zipper, but a thinner one would work really well. You just add it to the edges and then stick to your pocket, and it holds it in place. But if you don't want to use any glue, that's totally fine. You could just spin the pocket around, but I like to use the glue and just use 2 pins on each side, just to hold it in place, okay? All right. I'm gonna take it to the sewing machine again. Okay, do you guys have any questions? No, everyone's doing okay. I'll just show you again what it looks like, just in case. So this is the outside, the exterior side of the pouch, and this is the lining side. Okay, so we have our pocket lining right here, and the zipper is a right side up right here. So because you want your zipper pull to be right here. Okay, and zipper pull is now on the left side. Like, it's good to remember which side you're putting your zipper pull on, because you want both your zippers eventually to be on the same side. So if you prefer it on the other side, that's fine. Just remember for the other zipper as well. Okay. Now I'll wait for everybody to attach their zipper, just to make sure we are all going at the same speed. Again, we don't want to leave anybody behind. Okay. Everybody's doing okay? Yeah, cool, Oh, I see Melissa. 2 thumbs up. Cool, cool. And Lori,
this
wonderful.
is brilliant. I have avoided these. I have had nothing but trouble with these pockets, but all of these tips are wildly helpful.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. Because it's such a good pocket to know how to do. Like it makes a huge difference.
Rose has just asked, she wants to confirm the stitch length is 2.5. What about?
Yes, and you know what, actually like for the top stitching, I usually like to do like 2.75. So I make it just a tiny bit longer than my regular stitch because it just looks a little bit prettier when it's a bit longer. So for top stitching, like top stitching around the zipper, I would do 2.75. If I were to top stitch along a bag, I probably would go with a 3 stitch. So it really depends what material you're using. But yeah, definitely 2.75 for top stitching is great.
Okay, and Vanessa has said, do we need the zipper foot now, Svetlana?
You don't, no, like this is super easy. You don't even need a zipper foot for this because we are going to be stitching about 1/8 inch away from the edge of the pocket. And I find that most of the feet work just fine where you don't even need the zipper foot. But if you feel more comfortable with a zipper foot, you can definitely use that. But like you might notice, like this is my foot right here. The one I have, I don't know if you can see it well. It's a pretty thin zipper. No, it's not a zipper foot. It's a standard foot, but it's so skinny that I just use it for all my sewing. I don't actually even switch to a zipper foot at all. But that's the foot that came with my Juki. I don't know. I don't think it has a name. Just a very skinny foot. But use a zipper foot if you're more comfortable for this step right here.
Okay. And another question is from Rose. She has said that her width is set to 3.5. Does she change that?
Well, 3.5 seems like a long stitch to me, but maybe it really depends on your machine.
That was width.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think machines can be a little bit different. So yeah, just what works well for you, something a little bit longer than what you normally would use.
I think Rose was just saying that was her width that it was set to, Svetlana. Does that make a difference?
Width
is 3.5 inches.
Okay, now I'm lost.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you mean by that?
Yeah, let's have a look. Rose, do you want to just have a chat? Do you want to press your space bar and just unmute yourself, my love? And then we can, you can say what you mean.
Hi, I'm sorry about that. So my stitch length is set at 2.5, which is fine. But now my width, I guess, I don't know if that's for a straight stitch or only for zigzag, is set at 3.5.
Yeah, that's only for zigzag because we're using only straight stitch. Okay. So only the length of the stitch. The width is for your zigzag.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what Just Jude and Virginia have said as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because like my machine is only a straight stitch machine, so I'm sometimes like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah. But yeah.
One question you might have answered earlier, I think I might have missed it, Svetlana, just checking. Janet had written, how close do you put the zipper ends to the outside? But that was just before 5. You might have answered that already. The zipper ends are pretty close because you have a 5-inch opening and a 5-inch zipper. So they really come close to the end of your zipper, as you can see right here, pretty close. So I want to use about 1/8 inch seam allowance, and I pay attention to it when I'm stitching around the zipper here. I want to make sure I do not stitch over any metal ends. So if for some reason you didn't make your opening large enough that it's kind of like the zipper isn't sticking out all the way, maybe add a little bit more to your stitching right here. Go a little bit farther just to ensure you don't stitch over your metal ends. Okay, because that's definitely gonna break your needle, and that just, of course, no fun and dangerous. No.
So yeah, but sometimes I actually find, like, even when I draw a 5-inch opening, I sometimes even stitch a little bit on the outside of the opening, knowing that I want to add just a tiny bit of space for my zipper. So you can definitely do that. Yeah, exactly. If you have any rooms, Leslie says she needs to reposition her zipper. Like sometimes you might find out that you just have a little bit of a gap on one side, but not enough space on the other side. Reposition your zipper. And I'd say if you are not happy with how it looks when you are just setting it in place, redo it. I know we don't like to redo things, but you will be so thankful that you did, because once you stitch the zipper in and close the pocket, you know, you can't really redo it easily, and it might bother you if the zipper isn't nice and straight. So just take your time and, you know, no rush. Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right, cool. So if we are all ready. Yeah.
Go on, Svetlana, I was just going to say, if we had to have an award for all the different tutors for different things, you would definitely win the award for the class that always has the most questions.
Yay!
And I'm sure Elaine would.
I'm glad to hear that.
When it comes to a lot of our classes, and Vanessa there as well, and Andrea. Isn't that right, girls? There's always the most questions in a Svetlana class. Literally hundreds of questions.
You learn so many little techniques and things like that. Take your sewing to the next level. Love it.
Right. Exactly, because that just,
I might have some awards, Svetlana, and I'm going to tell you now, award.
Of the most questions. I love that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So if there are no more questions, we'll continue with the next step. And that's going to be stitching around, somebody else has a question, 5-inch zipper was 5 1/4 and adding on each side work perfectly. Okay, really nice. Like Karen says, her zipper was actually 5 1/4 inches long. So adding 1/8 inch on each side of this zipper opening just made enough room for her zipper. So I know some manufacturers can sometimes say it's a 5-inch zipper, and then yeah, you can measure it and it's 5 1/4 or something. So it's always a good idea actually just to remeasure your zipper before you start. Because this way you just work with what you have. You don't have to worry that it won't fit. Okay, so to stitch all the way around this, we're going to stitch around this little opening, right? The little window. And in the process, we'll be attaching the zipper to our exterior panel and adding it to our pocket. So what I usually like to do, as you can see, I'm using a thread that's kind of matching my exterior panel quite well. And the reason is that no matter how experienced you are, I mean, like you get better as you practice, but you can still end up with a little wobble. Maybe you don't want there or something like that. And this way, when you use some thread that matches your exterior panel, the pocket usually looks better. So I like to match it to it. You can, of course, there could be a different look where you use a contrasting thread for that, but then you have to be extra careful about all your stitching. Okay, so I usually like to start somewhere around like 2/3 of the way, like on the pocket, just bring my needle down in the position I want to be, and I'll stitch around the pocket using 1/8 inch seam allowance. And again, it's very important to stop in a needle down position when you're in the corner, because you want nice sharp corners right here. So I'm going to stop there, and then we make sure that we have a nice 90-degree turn. Okay, so start stitching. And find a speed that works for you. There's absolutely no rush. You know, go the speed that works well for you. And as you can see, again, I stopped in a needle down position. And I actually, what I like to do is here, you see, I just move my needle a little bit with my hand. I find it works to make sure the 90-degree angle stays really well in here. So I just move it a little bit, bring it in going up, but it's still in the down position, just a little bit up like that. And then I continue stitching. So remove my pin and stitch. And there you really have to be careful. You can even feel with your finger to make sure there is no metal parts in your way. Okay, and again, needle down position, pivot, bring the presser foot down and keep stitching. And as I'm coming closer now to my zipper pull, I never ever want to sew around it because that would give me a wobble right here. So I leave my needle in the down position, bring my presser foot up, just it a little bit, and move my zipper pull out of the way. Okay? And I kind of hold the zipper in place with my fingers just to make sure it doesn't move on me. Bring the presser foot down again and keep stitching. And also make sure your lining is out of the way so you don't stitch over that. There we go. And again, move the needle a little bit and stitch right here. Like so. And the last one. And again, as I get here, I will just back stitch just to make sure all my stitches are secured. Here we go. Trim off all the thread ends. So you don't want those. And here is what my pocket looks like. So here's my zipper right here. Open it, is the side of the zipper, and this is what it looks like on the other side, okay? A little bit there, so you can see better. So this is the lining side of the pocket, and this is the exterior side of the pocket. Nice and straight, everything lined up, neat, and the zipper is attached in place. And again, if you stitched around it, you see you didn't catch the zipper in place, or maybe you don't like the way the stitches look, rip it out and redo it. You know, it will work well in the end. So yeah, it all takes time and it's fine. So do we have any questions? No questions, wonderful. So I'll just wait for everybody to finish stitching around your opening, and then we can move on to the next step of finishing our pockets. Nice. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. Oh, I see Janet right there, and Elaine, cool. And Lori and Jan, nice. Okay. All right. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I see Susan is showing her pocket. It looks wonderful. I love your zipper. So pretty. Yeah, I see Karen. Wonderful. Yay. You become our star.
I don't think
nice.
So, but I did work out really well adding that.
That looks
I'm
very
new
neat.
to these zippers.
Oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
It does.
Yeah, you're a pro. Yeah. Well done.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, it looks wonderful.
Who else had one to show us? Thank you, Karen. Who else do we have? Okay, let's have a look at Laurie, and then we'll go to Claire. So, okay, Laurie first. There you go.
All right.
Oh,
wow,
nice.
Looking really good. I love that. Nice.
Wow.
Nice. And you use nylon zipper. It looks wonderful. Yeah.
Very nice.
Well done.
Very nice. Thank you. And then we'll go to Claire, and then I'll come to Imka. So Claire.
Oh, nice. I love how you left the little, contrasting lining on the outside of the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, pretty.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, nice. It just gives it this nice contrast. Lovely.
We have Imka. There we go.
Oh, nice.
There's
lovely.
Very
Looks
nice.
really good.
Yeah. So
well done.
Well, all those questions are paying off. There's some very good work here.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Janet, let's come to you, Janet.
Oh, and I love that. Nice zipper. Yeah, and it works so well when you use also like a pop of color for your zipper.
Yeah.
Right? Then it just adds some more. Very lovely. Good job.
Mandy? Thank you, Janet. Let's have a look at Mandy.
Nice.
Oh, yellow with the blue.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, very nice.
And your sparkly lights in the background. You're just not letting Christmas go, are you, Mandy? You're not letting it go? No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. We've still got a reindeer with little lights around him. I'm not letting it go. Lovely.
All right. Okay, so you know what? Let's just finish our pocket.
Yeah.
And because we only have one quick step to finish. So turn your pouches or panels pocket side up like that. So here is your lining of the pocket, and you fold the lining over the other. So kind of fold it in half like that. Okay, this is what's going to form your pocket. And now you can add some pins if you want, or you could use sewing clips if you wanted to. And just hold these two panels together. Just hold, you're really holding just the lining, okay? Not the exterior panel at all. So your pocket is nice and loose here. All right, it's loose here and it's loose on top. It's not attached to your exterior panel, only the zipper is. And now we are going to stitch around these three sides just to close our pocket. And the way I like to do it, I actually stitch on this side. So I sort of fold this panel a little bit out of the way, and then I stitch along this side, and I'll show you the rest in a second. So I'll move my pin out of the way. I back stitch at the beginning and end. So I'm just going to bring it right here. And again, I'm only stitching along the lining of the pouch, all right? Not the exterior. And for this, I usually use about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, or even 1/2 inch would work well. Stitch it right here. Pivot again, and again, I'm moving this exterior panel out of the way. I do not want to stitch it to my lining, okay? And stitch along my lining stop edge right here. I'll move my pins. Here we go. And again, I turn it, fold the exterior panel away from the zipper, from the pocket, and again, stitch along the rest of the side edge. And back stitch at the end. And now this is what the pocket looks like. Again, I'm just going to trim some of my threads. Oops, there's one more pin. And this is the pocket. So we stitched around the three edges right here, not along this folded one, just around the three open edges. This is what the pouch looks like on the exterior side, okay? So again, the pocket is loose, it's not attached to your panel. And this is what the pocket looks like on the right side. You can open the zipper and you can see here is your lovely pocket. Okay. Are we doing okay with the linings? Yep, okay. Oops. All right, let me know if you have any questions. It's so fun to hear the sewing machine sounds, right? So nice. Okay, so give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready. Just want to see how everybody is doing.
Not yet.
Yes, I'm seeing some thumbs.
Okay.
I'll put something here.
Somebody asked how to stitch the pocket.
Yes.
Pamela, I think, asked. So to stitch the pocket, again, you just fold it right side up, and then you need to stitch around these edges. So to stitch around it, actually, I turn it exterior side up like that, and I start here. And then I fold the panel away from the pocket and stitch all the way around here, turn it all the way around here. And as you can see, I keep moving the exterior panel away from the pocket because I don't want to get it caught in any of the stitches. And then I stitch it all the way here, back stitch at the beginning and end. You want to make sure that your pocket is nicely secured in place. Is that clear now? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's great. Okay. I just got a little behind.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Becky said she's just broken a needle, but don't worry, she will catch up.
Ouch.
And Rosa said, if this is your first time making this pocket, I know you are smiling right now. Great job, ladies.
Yeah. Is it guys, it's like for some of you, is it the first time making this pocket? Really? Wow. Yeah, because you're doing such a good job. You'd never tell. Right? Yeah. Nice. I'm so glad. And again, like it's just so nice once you know how to add these zippers, whether nylon or metal, whichever it is, it just makes such a huge difference in your sewing then, because you feel much more comfortable and you can just add it to anyone you want. Okay, and I saw a comment. Did you catch this one, Rachel? I missed it, sorry.
Yes, it just says, Laura said, I've made it before, but this one is perfect. I love it.
I'm so glad. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, nice. I'm really happy to hear that. Because yeah, I know it's, yeah, pockets are fun though. All right. So we'll just wait for everybody to finish going around their pocket and
done.
Okay, I see Claire is done. Nice. So we'll just we'll do a little bit more, Rachel, is that okay? And then we can take a break once we have this panel ready.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, Laura said it's not the first time, but it's definitely the best one that she has made because of the great tips.
That's really good. Yeah. I know. All right. Okay, so I think, okay, let me see, we'll just wait just a tiny bit longer to make sure everybody is ready. I'm so glad to hear that, Karen. Yeah, Karen says it worked out well for her. So yeah. And it's nice. I know many times it makes a difference when you can see somebody else do it. It helps. So yeah. I see my friend Judith.
Yeah, she just posted for us saying she was having a lovely time.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Doing a brilliant job, Svetlana. It's
so thank you.
Finally be talking to you face to face instead of over a computer.
I know. We just exchange emails all the time, and was this stupid lockdown.
No.
Yeah, we're just all in place, right?
Yay, I know. Well, it's lovely to be taking part in your workshop. You're doing an amazing job, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, well, it's so good to have you here. Yeah, and everybody, of course.
You don't just about yourself, Judith. By the way, Judith, you've had a bit of a rush on with your class today, your stained glass windows. Yeah, because we talked about it in our newsletter. Quite a few people booking on.
Nice.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Judith is a great teacher.
Yeah, she is. Her little zippy denim bag was fantastic a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to look at Judith's stained glass windows, it is on, it's February, isn't it, my love?
26th.
26th, yeah. So soon, yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. 6 till 9 p.m. on the 26th of February. That's UK time, and that is a lovely class with lots of techniques. And that's one thing that she's very much like Svetlana, full of techniques.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Fabulous.
We like to make life easier, don't we?
Yes, right, exactly. Exactly, cool, nice. Yeah. Oh, I see a pouch. Rose is showing. Oh, you're showing your Devon pouch. I love that.
Rose, let's have a little looky, Rose.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, to see it. Yeah, it looks good.
Yes.
You are an amazing teacher.
Thank you.
I have your Craftsy class and I just love it. And your voice is great. I've actually canceled classes because I didn't like the instructor's voice.
Oh. I hope none of ours, Rose.
Yeah.
No. This is my first class with you, but it's definitely not my last.
Oh,
I'm so glad. So good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was saying this the other day, Svetlana, that, you know, when we started these classes, and it was, you know, we just had one teacher at that point, and it was very much a UK audience. And now, you know, here we are only a few months down the road, really, and it is absolutely incredible. It's just growing and growing. I mean, the Australians are now wanting to come on board, but yeah, it's growing. Yeah, it's a question there. Why is it called a Malmo pouch? I'm in Sweden. I love the name.
I know. I just try to come up with some names. I don't really know. Like, I look on the map and try to see something. And I live in the Netherlands now, so it kind of was like, I saw it somewhere. I'm like, okay, I'll call it a Malmo pouch. So not deep at all, sorry. Like, no meaning. I mean, Rachel? Other than me liking it. So
Rachel?
Yes.
I years ago, I used to work on a TV show as an extra. So I would meet, like, you know, some celebrities, and it didn't faze me. But when I'm talking to my crafty celebrities, I get like starstruck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, yeah, that's what we've noticed, like with Svetlana and Nicholas Ball as well. He's another one. You know, we get some real fangirl moments on there. You know, there's a lady in India who just loves Nicholas, and it's when she first came on the class, of course, people have not had a chance to do this with him. So, you know, when he was there commenting on her quilts, I could see she was just beyond herself. It was like me talking to Bono or something. She was, you know, it was so the same for her. It's like, oh, Nicholas, please look at my quilt. And then he did and said, oh, I love the colours. Really she nearly fainted, you know, but it is so lovely to see you all so cool. Passionate about what you do, and that's just fantastic for me to see. Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, so are we ready for the next step? Everybody's ready? Or do we have any questions about the pocket?
Yeah, no questions at the moment.
No questions. Okay, perfect. So now it's time to add our handles. Okay, so for the handles, you can definitely use leather handles. I'm not sure if I wrote it in the pattern, but I like to use, I found out it's measured by those thicknesses. So it's either 1.5 to 2 millimeters thickness, what I usually buy. So it's not too sturdy, not too thick. It still works really well, even for the small handles. And you could also use a webbing, like I'm using this one. I like using webbing. I usually buy cotton webbing. I just search for it on Etsy and buy it in medium length. So this is a 1/2 inch wide webbing. Or even if you were to use like a sturdier ribbon or something like that, that would work as well. Can I use cork? My letter is 3.5. Yeah, like 3.5 might be a little bit sturdy and thick. If you were to use that, cork definitely works. Like I was using even some suede that I sort of had from, like, my kids' blankets came like wrapped up in it, like it was kind of a ribbon on it. So I would use that too. So you have a lot of options. And also in the pattern, like on the last page, you have instructions on how to make this handle out of fabric. Just quilting cotton would work just fine as well. It's super easy, so you can definitely do that if you don't want to use any other material, or you just don't have anything else on hand, so that would work. But for now, like I said, I'm using my webbing. You guys are using what you prepared. And the way to add it to our panel, so we are going to add it to the panel where we added the pocket. Okay, that's our back panel, and that's where the handle goes. So I'm going to fold my panel along the top edge right here, line up my side edges. The size is it 5.5 inches long, or you can use 6-inch long one if you prefer. I also use, I think, I even added like a 7-inch one on one of my pouches just to make it a little bit longer. It works. Thin my leather at the ends. Yeah, you can definitely thin your leather at the end so you don't have it so thick there. So really just any material that you prefer would work fine. Length anywhere from 5.5 to 7 inches long would work. And just the same way as we're going to do it here. So just fold your panel in half like that and pinch it here. Pinch it here along the top right here. So you mark where the middle point is, okay? Right here. Pinch it and open it up. And I still like to use my fabric marking pen just to mark where the middle point is. If you don't want to pinch it, you can just use your ruler and find the middle. Or sometimes I like to pinch it, find the middle, and then just use my ruler to make sure I really did it correctly. So double checking definitely pays off when you are sewing really anything, right? You want to make sure that it all turns out as well as possible. And now I'm going to use a ruler and just make 2 marks 1 inch away from the middle point. So 1 inch on the right side, 1 inch on the left side, like so. And again, I'm just using my fabric marking pen. This one is air soluble one, so it will disappear after a little while. By itself, I don't have to do anything. So here are my 2 marks, and these 2 marks are 2 inches apart. There's a 2-inch gap in between. Okay, thus, do you still mark 1 inch? Yes, even if you're using a 7-inch handle, 1 inch mark is fine. You just have a slightly longer handle that you can grab onto. All right, and now I'm going to place my handle right side down. I place it right here along the first mark. So this mark is going to be on the inside edge of my handle, and I use a sewing clip to hold it in place like that, okay? And now I loop it up. I'm making sure that I don't twist my handle and bring it to the second mark. So the marks are on the inner edges of my handle, like that. And again, I like to use sewing clips to hold my handle in place. You could definitely use pins if that's what you have on hand or that's what you prefer. Okay, and when you attach it, when you attach your handle, just check, make sure that you really didn't twist it when you added it to your panel. Okay, because the twisted handle is no good. And now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and just baste these handles in place. I will use 1/8 inch seam allowance, and I will stitch back and forth a few times. Okay, and while I do that, I kind of like to hold my hand right here to make sure my handle really stays at a 90-degree angle, because sometimes I found out when I let it go, the machine could like kind of pull it a little bit and make it crooked. And that doesn't look so good once the pouch is finished. So just hold it, help it with your hand a little bit, like so, and just stitch in place. Just a few times. And do the same on the other side. You can even sort of fold your handle like that to make sure it stays nice and flat. So here, this is my handle. Like, of course, if you're using leather, you can't really be folding it much because you don't want to damage your leather. But if you're using fabric or webbing like I am, it works fine. Going to give you a little bit of time for you to attach your handle. So again, 2 inches in between the edges of the handle, the inner sides. Do we have any questions? No, everything is clear? Okay, good. Good, good. All right. See Jenny's little helper. So cute. To use a jeans needle for leather. I don't. I actually don't. Like I find that because I don't use leather that's really thick, then just many times just a standard needle works well for me, especially when I'm working on a pouch, it would be just a small piece. If I were to make a bag, I would use the 90-14 or 116 needle if I feel like the thicknesses are much more. Universal needle. Yeah, Leslie also says her universal needle worked well. So I find they're sharp enough to go through. Like as long as you change your needles regularly, you should be okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now that we have our handles in place, do you guys have any questions about the handles, or are we ready for the next step? Okay. So there are no questions. Perfect. So now we are going to attach our top flap to the pouch. Now, I chose a directional fabric on purpose to show you how to attach that panel so it's not upside down when you fold the pouch over, right? So usually what we would like to do is just add the fabric like that because it's right side up. But then when you turn the pouch, when you fold it over, you'd end up with fabric that's upside down here. So that wouldn't be good. So what you do is turn the flap like that, and then attach these sides. So you really are attaching this panel upside down to your exterior panel, okay? Because then at the final finish step, when we fold it over, the fabric will end up being nicely right side down. All right. If you don't have a directional fabric, so it means like the pattern is the same all over your fabric, it doesn't really matter which side you attach it. But if you do use a directional fabric, make sure it's a right side up. Okay. Because normally like this is the right side of your fabric. So you flip it and you attach it to your panel right here. So I'm going to place the panels right sides together. Line up these 9.5-inch edges. And again, I like to use my sewing clips for this step right here. Sewing clips here, just to hold it in place like that. And I actually like to add my clips where my handles are, just to make sure I know where they are and I pay attention again so I don't twist the handles as I stitch. Okay, so this is what the panel looks like when you open it up. Panel is right sides together right here. And we are going to stitch along this edge using 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we will back stitch at the beginning and end because we want all the stitches to be nice and secure. And again, because this is no top stitching, I use the 2.5 stitch length to make sure the stitches are nice and neat. Okay, so do I need to show it again how to place these two panels together, or is it all clear? All clear. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to take it to the machine and stitch along this edge using 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitching at the beginning and end. And again, as I come to my handle right here, want to make sure it stays at a 90-degree angle. So I line it up from the inside and stitch. And here the same thing. That's my hand. See, everybody's busy sewing, so we'll wait a little bit. Okay, all right. So are we ready now? So we have this stitch along the top edge right here. And now we are going to just fold this seam towards your exterior panel, okay? So fold it towards your exterior panel so the seam falls down. Okay, does it make sense? The seam falls down like this. And a good sign of that is your handle. You want your handle to go and lay flat along your flap fabric. All right. And for this, I actually like to just finger press this seam right here. You could definitely take it to your sewing machine, to your pressing board, and just press it really well. I find that finger pressing works just fine, because I'll give it another press once I'm all finished. And once I have it like that, can you confirm the measurements of placement of the handle? Yeah, so the handle is, there are 2 inches in between the handle edges. The inner edges are 2 inches apart. So you mark the middle point and then you draw 2 points 1 inch away from the middle, which gives you 2 inches, and place the handle along those 2 inch points, right? And now once I pressed this seam, I'm going to stitch along the seam right here using 1/8 inch seam allowance, just to do a little bit of top stitching. So again, I just make my stitch a slightly bit longer than what I was using, so it's consistent with my pocket stitch. And again, I will back stitch at the beginning and end. And here, notice again that the handle lies flat along the your flap, your quilting cotton, okay, or your contrasting fabric. It's not down here along your exterior panel.
What did she do again? Oh, this. I was pressing.
Do we have any questions? Or is it all clear?
I think the last question there was from Laurie. Can you confirm the measurements of the placement of the handle? Did you do that one?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So we are good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just top stitching along this edge. And now we have this nice panel.
Oh, I wanted to ask a question. Let me think. How do I do it?
Did somebody have a question? I heard someone.
Claire did.
Oh, Claire.
I was pressing.
Who is it?
I was pressing, and I can't remember where you were sewing at. I got up and went to go press.
Oh, that's okay. You mean
you can just show me by hand, and I can
the top stitching?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So the top stitching is along this panel right here. Do you see it right here? Oh, so okay, you just top stitch along this panel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Using 1/8 inch seam allowance.
Yes. Thanks. Okay. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. So right here, along this edge. And again, the handle stays nice and flat along your flap right here. Okay, so this is what your that's your back exterior panel. This is what you should have at this point.
Oh, that jammed.
All right, and it's the seam. Yes, the seam sewing the pieces is 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, the 2 pieces together 1/4 inch, and then 1/8 inch for top stitching. So just make sure when you're folding the seam that your hand lies on this flap. So when you fold it the right way, the seam is pointing down. So you can see here. See how it is down? That's what you're going for. All right. And we just need to do one more thing, and then our exterior panel or the back exterior panel will be all ready. So I'll wait a little bit to make sure everybody can look up, and then we'll do that. All right, okay, cool. I see Janet's already. I like your pin cushion. Super handy, right? To have it right there. Yeah. You know, I don't think I could say straight line. You know, Becky, if you have a hard time with a straight line, just use the thread that really blends in with your fabric. Like Essex linen, or, you know, any fabric that sort of like gives you a little bit of, it's not just one color. And I use this gray thread, and yeah, I find out it's actually really difficult to see it. Now I wish that I used something else. But if that's your problem, just use something that disappears into the fabric, or when the fabric is busy, use something as close to, you know, what will blend in. No? Or just go for it. Embrace the wonk. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's just add one more loop, and that's going to be the button loop that we need to add to our exterior panel. So this is, again, this leather lace that I use, and I'm going to fold it in half like that, just form a loop like so. And again, I'm going to add it to the top edge of my back exterior panel. And again, I want to add it to the middle. So I'll fold it in half like so. Line everything up, fold it, pinch it right here to mark the middle point. And again, I'll just mark it so I don't lose the point. And where I folded it to form a loop like that, I'm going to place it right side down right here along this middle point. And again, I will use my sewing clip to hold it in place. So you see how it is here? And again, if you're just using, you could use a thin ribbon for this stage or something like that. Anything that you really prefer works well, just something thin, or even some rope, you know, that would work. And then I'll stitch back and forth again a few times, securing it in place, but I will hold it right here with my fingers to make sure it doesn't move from the place. You show us the reel of the leather. Yeah. So here is, this is the leather that I use. Like I said, I buy it on Amazon. When we used to live in the States, Blick Art was the shop that I would buy it from, but they don't ship internationally. So I can't buy that anymore. And I think Joanne and Michaels might have it as well, but they have it in smaller packaging. So as long as you go with real leather, deerskin lace, and this is a 1/8 inch, yeah, 1/8 inch deerskin lace. Yeah, like that. Okay. Should smooth side up or down? Smooth side down. Yeah, Tandy Leather sells it in the US. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, that's another shop where you can buy it from. And like, yeah, like this spool will last you a while. And I use these for my zipper pulls as well. So I usually cut about 6 or 7 inch length for my zipper pulls and just tie it in a knot. And it works really well for zipper pulls. And it also comes in different colors. I think you can get it in brown and then small packages of red or yellow. So kind of cute. All right. So the loop right here, I'm just going to attach it to my fabric right here by stitching back and forth a few times. And this is what the loop looks like. So again, we have our pocket right here, handle is right here, and the loop is here. Okay, so all these things, they need to point in these directions. This way you'll know everything is as it should be. So the loop is pointing down, handle is pointing up. And if you have a directional fabric, it's actually pointing down. Okay, is that, does that make sense? Is everybody okay with that? Yeah, okay, I see Pat. Nice. Okay, Lori. All right. Right, let me know if you have any questions or if you need me to clarify something else, because we want to make sure that everybody's back exterior panel is ready for the next step then.
Svetlana, it's Vanessa. I have a question. Are we sewing? I missed where you attached the button loop. Is it on the front or the back of the panel?
So it's the button loop right here. This is, yeah, it's on the exterior of the panel, but on the same panel we've been working on.
Yeah, okay. I put mine on the wrong side. Sorry.
Yeah, you need it on this side. So this way you can, when you fold it over, so you get the button is kind of holding it all together for you. So just take it off and put it. Did you put it on a different panel? Because we only worked on this one so far.
No, I had it on the right panel, just on the wrong side.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So it's on the right side. Okay. The button loop is on the right side.
Yeah.
So again, here's your pocket, here's your handle, and here's your loop. Everything is up on the right side of the panel. Yeah. Okay. It's on the handle on the wrong panel. Oh, ouch. Well, you can quickly unpick it. And the size is 4 inches long. If you've sewn something on the wrong side, just unpick it, redo it. It's not, we all have to do it. Like my seam ripper is right here. It's like, it lives right next to my sewing machine because I use it a lot. So, yeah, and it's never a good time, but you know, it's just part of life, right?
It's your partner.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you find out something is not exactly how you wanted it, just take out the stitches and redo it.
Let me do mine now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, see many of you are done with your panels. Cool. Karen's already holding it by the handle. I know it just needs the other part, right? Yeah. Okay, Rachel. Is Rachel here? Rachel?
I am here, yes I am.
Okay, there you are. Should we take maybe just a 5-minute break?
Yes.
Because I know we want to do a break, but like, is it okay if we do just 5 minutes? I want to make sure we don't then run over time or something like that, because we still want to do.
I mean, we can run sort of 5-10 minutes over, can't we? But like, you don't want it to go on too long. Yeah, everybody just literally have 5 minutes to get up from their chair, stretch, drink a glass of water, whatever, and then come back.
Yeah. Right. Let's wait. Let's give another half a minute or so to everyone to come back, or a minute. How do you measure the length of the zipper again? Okay, yeah, let me show you. So here is the zipper. And you measure from one end, right here, to the other end. So you only measure the zipper parts. You don't measure the zipper tape. Okay, so the fabricy part along the zipper, you don't measure that. So you just measure from the open end right here, where the metal part starts, the teeth, and including the end stop. Okay, so this zipper right here is 8 inches long. See, from here to here, 8 inches. Okay. Because there could be definitely different zipper tapes that different manufacturers use. Okay. Yours is 6.5, Janet says. Now, is that the zipper you used for your pocket? Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, thank you. Jane said she can do another pattern then with the zipper pocket, which is cool. Yeah, and somebody, sorry, I forgot the name, who asked about that 6.5-inch zipper. Now, was that the length of your zipper for the pocket or the main zipper you were saying?
Is that the question from Janet? How do you measure the length of your zipper? Mine may not be 8 inches, mine is 6.5.
Mm-hmm. But because for the main zipper, like we are going to do the main zipper, you need an 8-inch zipper because 6.5 is just too short. Like, was that maybe for was it a 6-inch long zipper? For the small size, you could use that, but that's 6 inches. So if you have a different zipper, I'd suggest maybe just quickly grab that. You could use a nylon zipper if that's what you have. But you definitely need an 8-inch, or if nylon, 8-inch and longer. Okay, for this.
She's going to go look for one.
Okay.
And cool. Also, did you see Laurie's comment? She said she'd sewn the handle on the wrong panel.
Yeah, she did. She said that before, so she was going to redo that.
Okay. And Laurie said, what size is the loop, please? Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's, I think in the pattern, it's 5.5 inches long, but again, like I said, I've tried it even with like 6-inch loop or 7-inch loop. It just really depends on how long you want it to be. So I would say somewhere between 5.5 and 7 is good. Like if you go too long, then it just becomes kind of like a long handle, but yeah, 5.5 to 7. Right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it at the moment.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I actually still forgot one more thing. Like if you are using a ribbon, just a ribbon tab that has absolutely no purpose here other than decorative purpose. So yeah, Janet got a 10-inch long zipper and she can cut it. So that's great. But the ribbon, it's only for a decoration. I sometimes use it on my pouches, other times I don't. It just really depends if I have something that matches it. It looks cute on it, so you can add it to your pouch if you want to. I just fold it in half like that and just add it about, I think it says in the pattern, about 3 inches from the bottom. You can eyeball it, you can measure it if you want to, and then just stitch it right here. Use sorry, using 1/8 inch seam allowance again. Okay, but it's just an optional step. you don't need to do that if you don't want to, or you don't have any ribbon on hand. So actually, like sometimes these ribbons are good, like some people have their brand ribbons with their brands on it, so they could do that. And the ribbon, I'm using 1 3/4 inches long ribbon, but you could go with 2 inches if you want. I just wanted this one to be kind of a small, just an accent there. So 1 3/4 inches long or 2 inches is good. And then fold it in half and attach it to the side of your panel about 3 inches from the bottom.
Did you see the question about what was the length of the ribbon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
So we did that.
I'm
Yeah.
just literally answering Instagram messages and questions, and also, so sometimes I miss, sorry, but I always want to make sure that the questions are answered. So better to
makes sense. Yeah, yeah. And again, like if your question wasn't answered, just, you know, raise your hand, wave at us, or just ask again. And we definitely don't want to ignore anybody, right? So, okay. So yeah, when the ribbon is added right here, that's still the back exterior panel. I'm going to set it aside now because we just need to assemble the front panel. And this one is super, super easy because all you do is just attach the bottom panel to your top panel. Again, if you have a directional print, just remember that we are doing it the other way around. So it's in the same direction as your back exterior panel, okay? So both your panels will look exactly the same. And we are going to use 1/4 inch seam allowance again, stitch it together, and then turn it right side out and back stitch along the bottom panel, the Essex linen that I have here, just the same way as we did for the back panel. So, and don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end to secure your stitches. So I stitched it right here, and I'm just going to flip my seam away from this contrasting flap, okay? From the pretty pattern flap, the same way we did for the back panel. Just this time we don't have a handle here or the pocket, but it's exactly the same construction. So the seam is pointing down. Okay? And I'm going to top stitch along the seam again, using 1/8 inch seam allowance, the same way I did for the other panel. Does it make sense for everybody? Yeah? Okay. So is Now let me see, I just want to go over what we have right now here. So this is our back panel. This is our front panel. As you can see, they both look exactly the same. Bottom fabric, top fabric, just this one has a handle, has a loop and a pocket and a ribbon tab. Okay, so these are our two exterior panels, and our two linings are just flat linings with little 1-inch notches here. We did at the beginning of the class. So we are going to set these panels aside for just a little bit because it's time to address our zipper, our main zipper. All right, so this zipper measures 8 inches long. 8 inches, and we are going to be adding 1 zipper tab to this inside of the zipper, and the zipper is going to look like this. You see it okay right here? So we'll have a tab on this closed end, but an open end doesn't have any tab. And the reason I usually do that is it makes for a super easy opening of the pouch. It opens nice and wide and it doesn't block, you know, you from putting things in there. You could definitely add another tab on the other side if you wanted to, but I just chose just 1 tab. So that's what we're going with. The zipper is longer. Lori, do you have a nylon zipper? You say it's a longer zipper? Yeah?
Yes, it's nylon.
Okay, so if you have a nylon zipper, and that really goes for everybody, anybody, if even like next time you want to use nylon zipper for your pouch, I suggest you cut it 1 inch shorter than the top edge of your pouch. So this is 9.5 inches long. So you would cut your zipper at 8.5 inches, and we would add 2 tabs. So the way I'm going to show 1 tab, you would add tab on one side and on the other side. And if you want, you can check out my, on my YouTube channel, I posted like a few weeks ago, a video on how to shorten your nylon zipper for any pouch, okay? So I'm showing it now here, but if you wanna see the whole process, how it's done with a nylon zipper, just hop over there. It's a free tutorial and you can check it out, and you can definitely use it for this pouch. So again, the top of the pouch is 9.5 inches wide. So you would cut your nylon zipper at 8.5 inches. So always 1 inch shorter. All right? Okay, so let's see, let's address this little guy. So as I said, we're going to add 1 tab to it. And this measures 1.25 inches wide by 2 inches long, okay? So I'm going to fold it in half, like that, wrong sides together, bringing 1.25 inch edges together, fold it in half, and press it. And again, I'm using nice hot iron and steam. Hit it with the steam, it will give me nice crisp edge. Be careful, it's hot. So just give it a little bit of time to just cool down a little bit. And now bring this 1.25 inch edge towards the middle, like so. Hold it, bring it towards the middle, hold it with your fingers here and press it again. Okay, turn it around and bring this edge towards the middle as well. So really we made the middle fold and now we are bringing short ends together. So this is what it looks like at this point. You can see it okay. And now I'll just fold it over one more time and press it again. And again, hit it with a little bit of steam. So now this is my zipper end here, and it measures 1/2 inch tall by 1.25 inches. Can you say the measurements? So the measurements are 1.25 inch wide by 2 inches long, okay? And the measurements are in your pattern. So you can check it again. And if you're using a nylon zipper, you use the same measurements, but for 2 tabs, right? So this is what the tab looks like. Now, do you have any questions about this tab and about the folding? Everyone is okay? All right, cool. So I left my scissors on the other side. What we're going to do is I want to add this tab to this side of the zipper right here. Sorry, I'm miles behind. Okay. Lori, I think said, oh, the folding. Okay, so let me show the folding again, okay? So here's your tab. It's 1 1/4 inches wide and 2 inches long. So fold it in half, and now it's 1 inch long, 1 1/4 inches wide. Okay. Press it, open it up, and bring short ends towards the middle, like so. Press it again, and now fold it over completely. And now you just have this tab that is open here in the middle, closed on this one side, and it measures 1/2 inch right here and 1 1/4 inches here across. Okay, cool. All right, so we want to add the tab to the zipper to this part, but as you can see, it's kind of a long, it has a lot of fabric here. So I just trimmed this down to 1/2 inch. And again, you don't have to measure it precisely, eyeball it, I usually do. So about 1/2 inch, like so. I'll just make it nice and straight. All right, and now I'm going to open up my zipper tab like here. Sorry, I'm struggling to see you folding the tab and getting behind. Okay, it was Janet, I think. So let me open the tab again and refold it again. Okay, let me bring it even closer, okay? So here's the tab like that. You fold it wrong sides together in half, press it, okay? Open it up again. Now bring this short end towards the middle, press it right here, bring the other end to the middle, press it as well, and now refold it again and fold everything in half. Is that better? Yeah? So here's what the, okay, good. I see Janet's giving me thumbs up, good. So this is what we have now. We cut our zipper and tape right here to measure about 1/2 inch, or it can be a little bit less, it's fine. And now we are going to place the zipper inside this zipper tab. So I open it up, put my zipper right here, and just sandwich the zipper in between, like that. See, like this, and I use a clip. So this is what the zipper looks like on the right side and on the wrong side. As you can see, I came really close to my zipper end, but I do not go over the zipper end because I don't want to sew over it. All right. So you bring it as close to the zipper end as possible. See how that is? Close to the zipper end, but not over it. Yeah? Does that make sense? Here. Oh, there's the camera. Yeah. Okay. So it's sandwiched in between. Here's the side view.
Could I confirm one particular measurement, please? Mm-hmm. The zipper, I am using a nylon, and you did say to cut it down. Is it 8 or 8.5?
8.5.
8. So cut a nylon zipper to 8.5.
Yes. Yes.
And then put the ends on.
Yeah. And it's because, you see, this is an 8-inch zipper, but we are adding another 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. Yeah. Before I cut it, I just wanted to make sure.
No, makes sense. Zipper. Makes sense. Good job.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yes, absolutely.
I have
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a quick question.
Yes.
I just want to make sure, excuse me, I'm using a nylon zipper, so I have both my ends within.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure, because my video froze for a few minutes or seconds or so. My zipper on the inside of the sandwich, it's going all the way to the back of it, correct?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
it goes all the way because we are not going to sew over zipper ends at all.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So this is actually, it's really important to note that we sew right next to it, but we do not sew over it. Okay. So I will actually show you, if you can see here, like the zipper end right here, it's loose. It's not inside the pouch.
Yes.
And that's what we want, because this way we get these really nice straight sides.
Okay, right. It doesn't
and it doesn't pull the zipper in. So
right.
Yeah, you just push the zipper as much towards the end of the zipper tab as possible, especially with the nylon zipper.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna move my phone again. I think this is almost the last time.
I love it how you're walking around with your little stripy socks on, Svetlana.
Yes, sorry.
I love it how you're walking around with your little stripy socks on.
Oh,
like we're all so relaxed. We're all such friends here, Svetlana's team.
Yeah, I didn't know you could see my socks, but okay.
I saw them, but to be honest, I saw them before we started the class.
Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. So is that the zipper tabs are clear for everybody, how we have them?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I have a nylon zipper. I can show you right here what it would look like. It's actually when I was working on the tutorial for YouTube, I made this zipper. So if you had a nylon zipper, this is what it looks like.
Oh.
Okay, so it would have 2 tabs, and as you can see, it then ends up being the same size because we'll do something with these ends here.
Oh, 2 tabs. Oh.
Only if you're using nylon zipper.
I am using a nylon zipper.
So 2.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you're using a nylon zipper, it's 8.5 inches and 2 tabs. Okay. If you're using an 8-inch metal zipper, it's just 1 tab.
Again, the 8.5 is from that each end of the tab?
Yes. This 8.5 is from one end to the other. Oops.
Okay, gotcha.
See?
Gotcha. Okay.
8.5 exactly from one end to another. So you cut it at 8.5 inches, and then you shove it as much to the middle part of the tab as possible.
Okay, I gotta rip this out. Mm-hmm. I folded it like you did the metal zippers, that little tab at the top. Yeah. But I have to take it out. It's okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
I'll cut a little piece.
Yeah, so once you have it like that, we are going to top stitch along this edge right here using 1/8 inch seam allowance. Okay, so the way you see how this is top stitched right here, that's how we are going to do it on this zipper as well. And since we placed it close to the zipper end but not over it, we should be totally fine stitching around it. Okay, so 1/8 inch. So I'll remove my pin and my clip, bring the needle down and my presser foot and stitch. And this is what it looks like. Okay. You're able to see it, okay? So we have a little bit extra fabric right here. We are going to trim it, but it's good to have a little extra, just it's easier to attach it to your zipper. So just stitch it like that. And the stitching caught the zipper tape on the other side as well. So this way you have this end right here nicely wrapped in your zipper tab. Yeah. And then what we are going to do, just cut this remaining fabric right here flush with the zipper on both sides, like so, just to make it as neat as possible right here. All right, and this is what the zipper looks like. So again, I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see where I didn't stitch over any metal parts, but I stitched really close to them, and I closed this end inside the tab.
can hear you. Is that you, Claire? Are you counting?
Yes, because I'm doing my tab again, the second part of it.
The other one, yeah.
I'm talking to myself, yes, thank you.
Okay, Claire, we don't mind. We don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, and so once the tabs are done here, we just need to address this part because that's also quite long. And the way I like to do it, I open the zipper right here and I fold this end towards the bottom of the zipper at about 45-degree angle, like this. So this is what it would look like. Can you see it okay here, how it is? So it's folded like that. And then I will stitch right here, just securing it in place. Just want to confirm nylon zipper. Yes, nylon zipper is 8.5 inches long cut. And you have a tab on each end for nylon zipper, only one end for metal zipper. So for metal zipper, I fold this tab right here at 45-degree angle. And again, like if you wanted a close-up, a picture of that in your pattern, you have a picture of what it looks like when you fold these corners right here. And I'm going to take it and just stitch around here, like within the seam allowance, using 1/8 inch seam allowance, stitch back and forth a few times just to secure this little tab in place. And once I stitch it, I think it might even make more sense how it's done. See, so this is what I end up with. Let's see if you can see it. Is that good? You fold it right to the middle. Yeah, I do fold it to this metal part. Like I just fold it down as much as possible at about like a 45-degree angle right here on both sides. And again, like in your pattern, you have a close-up picture of that, what it looks like. So it might be helpful if you want to check it out, just to see. So I know sometimes this is difficult to see, but this is what it looks like. So do you see it? Yeah. So this is what the zipper looks like on the right side and on the wrong side. Here are the folds. Okay, right side, right here. Okay. All right. So once we have our zippers ready, then we are ready for the zipper, adding zippers to our panels. Okay, do we have any questions? Is everybody okay getting their zippers ready?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'm just trying to finish up here.
Okay, okay. Oh,
I'm fine.
I love the cat. Oh my gosh, so cute. Janet, I love your cat. Is it a he or she? So sweet. They show the nylon zipper. Yes, and here's the nylon zipper. All right, so you know what? Let me bring it closer for you to see both these zippers. Okay. Again. So do you see what the zippers look like? They are the same length, but the metal zipper is finished differently on this side. Okay. Oh, her name is Katya. Oh, so sweet. Yeah. Great. Okay, good. Stand it back here. All right, so I'm going to work with a metal zipper now. So, all right. So if we have all our zippers ready, now let's bring our back exterior panel again here. Okay. So place it on your sewing machine on a flat surface right here. And we are going to be adding a zipper along the top edge right here. So what I'm going to do now, you see where the zipper on my pocket is? The pull is on this side. I want my zipper pull to be on the same side. okay? So it just looks a little bit neater if your zipper pulls are all on the same side, or at least I think so. So I keep doing that. But your zipper pull will be on the left side. Now bring your zipper right side down, like so, and center it along your top edge. So even if you wanted to center it, like you can just fold the zipper in half like so and place it along the tab right here. Or really you should have about, kind of like about ½ inch on each side of the fabric exposed that's not covered by your zipper. 3/4 inches or ½ inch, something like that. Okay, does it show? So here, this is the fabric that's not covered and here's the fabric that's not covered. And now I'm going to use my sewing clips to hold it in place. Hold the zipper in place. And again, zipper is right side down. So your zipper pull is in here, down. Okay. So zipper is right side down. It's centered, so it's in the middle of your panel. You'll have about, I have about 3/8 of an inch on each side of the zipper of the fabric that's not covered by the zipper. Okay. And if you are using a nylon zipper, then of course, again, right side down like that, and you center your zipper. And so you will have 3/8 of an inch or ½ an inch on each side of the zipper here. Okay, so exactly the same assembly, just slightly different zipper you're working with. All right. Now, are we ready? Do we have any questions for anyone? Now is the time to get that zipper foot on. Oh, yes, you're right. Rose said, now is the time to get the zipper foot on. Actually, I would usually do it in the next step, but you could do it now if you wanted to. Because what I like to do is baste my zipper in place to the exterior panel first, and then I add the lining. Because I know a lot of people do where they sandwich it all together. I find I have less control over my zipper, as sometimes it might shift a little bit and then it bothers me. So I would rather take just one extra step, baste the zipper in place and then add the lining. And I think it just gives better result, at least from what I've noticed with my sewing. So I would suggest, like, first we are going to use 1/8 inch seam allowance and just stitch the zipper in place, okay? And again, I'm going to move my zipper pull out of the way because I don't want to stitch over it at all, ever. So I'll move it out of the way, straighten up my zipper and start stitching. Again, I will stop to move my zipper pull out of the way again and continue stitching. Make sure my button loop is nice and straight. And here's my zipper. So my zipper is now attached to the exterior panel. And as you can see, the loop just stays in place. I stitched over it, but I'm not catching it in any other stitches. Like, I make sure it's still looped the same way as it was before. Okay, so here's the zipper. Did you go over the tab at the end? Yes, I stitch all the way from one end to the other. So everything is attached to your panel. Any other questions? Is everyone okay with their zipper? Yeah, okay, cool. So once we have the zipper, okay, I'll wait a little bit until you guys get it done. Okay. Okay, so just make sure your zipper is right side down, okay? So the right side of the zipper is touching right side of your fabric. All right, now give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready for the next step. Okay, I see plenty of you ready. Okay, cool. So we are going to bring our lining now and place the lining right side down along this panel and the zipper. So right side down like here, see, like so, and line up the side edges and the top edge. And again, pin it or clip it together. So I'm gonna use my sewing clips to hold it together. And definitely now is the time for your zipper foot if your foot isn't as skinny as mine, and I think most of them aren't. So just switch, put a zipper foot on your sewing machine. So let me show you once again what I'm working with. So here is my panel, my exterior back panel with the zipper in the middle and my lining is on top, okay? The panels are right sides together. I clipped it along the top edge right here. Is this part 1/8 inch? For the basting is 1/8 inch. And adding the zipper, we are going to do slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, you don't want to come so close to your zipper that it's going to be difficult to close and open the zipper. So slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance for the second stitching. And I like to actually turn the pouch exterior panel up like so, because this way I'm just sewing through thicker fabric right here, and it helps me with the stitches staying neater, I found out. So I usually sew over this because it already has the zipper attached right here. And I'm just going to stitch slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance right here. Okay, and back stitch at the beginning and the end. So going all the way. I'll just pause and with a needle down position so I can move my zipper foot or zipper pull out of the way. So I'll just move it right here. Let's see. Out of the way. Oops. Definitely is worth it for you to stop and get it out of the way, because you'll end up with prettier, more just straighter stitches. And keep stitching. Now I can stitch all the way. And again, I'll back stitch at the end. So this is what it looks like. Like I have these two panels and the zipper is in between my panels. And now, as you can see, I'm just going to open my pouch, open it like that, have the exterior panel on this side, lining on this side, the zipper is in the middle, pull on it, finger press my seam around the zipper, and I'm going to top stitch along this exterior seam right here using 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now, I'm not going to do it through the lining as well, only through the exterior panel. And the reason I do that is, once again, I want to have nice straight edges on the side. And I find out if I attach lining to the exterior panel, it seems to like pull my ends in of the zipper. I never had a problem with lining not being attached to my panel because I just press it really well and I'm not stitching so close to zipper teeth that it would get caught in them. So again, lining is here, zipper in the middle, exterior panel on the other side. I just pull on it a little bit and I'm going to stitch along this edge right here using 1/8 inch seam allowance. So just top stitching right here. And notice how my button loop just stays out of the way here, okay? I'm not moving it the other way. I'm not stitching over it. It's loose and it's kind of lays flat along the zipper right here. Do you see it how it is? Yeah. So here's my loop right here. I'm not going to stitch over it. I'm just stitching along this edge right here. To bring it closer. Yeah, so stitching right here.
Oh, it's over the zipper. Okay.
And again, I'm moving my zipper pull out of the way. All right. So here is one side of my zipper, all attached. And at this point, I will just fold the lining away from the zipper, like so. And finger press it at this point. I'm having a minor machine issue. I'm one step behind. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't notice the name who was asking something. Did you have a question?
It's me, it's Lori, and I'm not having a question. I may have to ask some questions in a few minutes that backtrack. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, sounds good. No
Keep
problem.
going. I'm good.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know.
Cool, no problem at all.
Okay.
Okay, so is everybody okay with what we did so far? So we have our exterior panel, zipper is attached, so is the lining. As you can see, lining has no stitching over it here. The top stitching is only through the exterior panel. Let me show the top stitching. Yeah, so the top stitching is through here. Do you see where the top stitching is? It goes along this edge right here. Yeah, so all the way along the stitching. Yeah. We'll move it a little bit here. Yeah, so here is the top stitching along the exterior panel. And then we fold the lining away from the zipper as well and finger press it well. Get it out of the way. And this is what your panel looks like. Exterior panel, zipper, and lining is right here. I'm going to give it a little bit more time so everyone can finish this step. Okay, so even your button loop is kind of just placed over your zipper. We didn't stitch it, move it in any direction. It just stays the way it was. Okay. All right, so I think we can move on to the next step, right? Are we ready? All right, so let's do we bring out our second exterior panel right here. And we place the whole thing, the exterior panel with the zipper and everything right side down along the panel's top edge. So we place it right sides together. See? And now you need to be careful because your loop is kind of peeking out right here. So I want to fold it in and make sure that it doesn't get in my way. I need to do the top stitching again, but keep, oh, okay. Imka is saying top stitching. Okay. And you're okay with, you know, what you're doing there, Imka, right? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So make sure you get your button loop out of the way. We don't want to stitch over it. Okay. So I'm just folding it like this and bringing the panel right here. And again, center your zipper along the panel like so. Just center it and clip it in place. So I clip it along this edge, like so. We are doing exactly the same step as we did for the previous panel. We just want to make sure nothing gets out of place or not aligned. So here is the front exterior panel. Here's the zipper, and I push the button loop down so it's not in my way. I'm only stitching through the zipper and the exterior panel. Right, and again, I'm going to stitch along this edge right here, all the way, attaching the whole zipper using 1/8 inch seam allowance. So I'll take it right here to my sewing machine and stitch. And again, I'll move the zipper pull out of the way. And this fold, in case it's coming undone or something, I just adjust it and stitch. And this is what it looks like.
Just this.
Trying to make sure it stays here. So this is what the pouch looks like at this point, okay? Here is your exterior panels, are right sides together. Your zipper is right here. We only have one lining attached, and we are going to add a second lining. Now, is this okay for everybody? Can we add the second lining? Yeah, okay, cool. So to add the second lining, just bring it right here, and again, place it right sides together with your other lining panel. Sorry, getting behind. Leslie said getting behind. So let me see where you are, Leslie. Is there something I need to show you? Haven't attached the zipper yet. Okay. So we'll just.
Where are you, Leslie? Leslie's not on camera.
Yeah, Leslie said her machine is acting.
I'm just trying to get the front, the next other part onto the other side of the zipper.
Okay.
Okay. So you did did you do the exterior panel and your lining?
I've done the first exterior panel and lining. It's the second exterior panel I'm just trying to get on.
Okay. So second exterior panel, you place it right side out, like right side up like that, and you place this panel right side down. See how I did that? So okay. Here's the panel right here, and the second panel is placed on top, and yes. The zipper is lined up with the top edge, and yes. We just basted it in place using 1/8 inch seam allowance.
Yes. I haven't basted yet. I'm okay. About to do that. But
okay. So yes. You just baste your zipper. I think a lot of people already basted their zippers. Oh, but I see actually quite a few of you still stitching, so I'll just wait a little bit. So baste your zipper right here. And now we are just going to place lining right side down, again, along this top edge, okay? So linings right sides together are touching. Place it right here, line it up with the zipper. Here is your zipper. Let's see, here's your zipper right here. Line it up and clip it in place. Make sure everything lines up. I'm gonna close my zipper right here. Oops. And careful so you don't get your button loop all stuck in the zipper. So mine was trying to get stuck in there. So I'll just clip it in place like so. Line everything up. So this is what it looks like here. You have your exterior panel on the bottom, your other second and lining panel right here, and your third or fourth loose lining panel is on top, like that. And now again, I like to place it zipper side up or the exterior panel side up. Oops. And stitch along this edge again, using slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitching at the beginning and end. Okay, you will be adding your lining panel to your whole pouch sandwich right here. Is that clear, or should I do it one more time before I sew so I can show it?
Do it again, please. Good.
Again, okay.
Not at all.
Okay, so here we go. So what we have now, we have our second exterior panel, which we placed right side up. We have our zipper, second part of zipper basted in place right here along the top edge, right? That's basted with 1/8 inch seam allowance. And so now I'm just going to place my lining right side down along the zipper edge again, like so. So the panels are right sides together. Linings are right sides together and exterior panels are right sides together, and the zipper is in the middle. I'll place it right here, clip it in place, like so, line it all up. And then I'm just going to stitch along this edge right here using slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this way I will sandwich the zipper in between my lining and my second exterior panel, like that. Okay, is that clear now? Yeah, seems to be okay. All right, so again, I'm just going to stitch it. So I will move my zipper pull out of the way and stitch along this edge right here using slightly less than 1/4 inch seam allowance. Back stitching at the beginning and end. And get my zipper pull out of the way. All right, and once again, I'm going to open up my exterior panel, move it away from the zipper, and top stitch along the exterior panel only using 1/8 inch seam allowance. So doing exactly the same thing as I did for my other exterior panel, okay? So again, lining is not caught in your top stitching. Lining is right sides together with the other lining. Right. And again, I will open my zipper, get the zipper pull out of the way, and top stitch. So. Yeah, are we okay? And now that the top stitching is done, I'm just going to pull the lining, just move it to the other side and move it away from the zipper. And again, finger press right here, moving the lining away from the zipper. So this is what the pouch looks like on the lining side. And this is what it looks like on the exterior side. So the zipper is neatly in the middle, right here. Here are my exterior panels. And this is my lining, all neatly away from the zipper. Now, at this point, you could just press the lining away from the zipper using hot iron and some steam, just to make sure it's set in place and it's not gonna get stuck in your zipper teeth. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that for my pouch as well. I'll just press it real quick, press it away from the zipper. Do we have any questions, guys? Is everybody okay? Adding their zipper? Good, good. I see Jan doing well. And Pamela, cool.
I forgot to add my lining, so I'm going to be a little slower, but just continue.
Okay, okay.
No
yeah.
problem.
Nice.
I understand the rest of the whole thing.
Okay, cool. Sounds great. We are really so close to the finish line now.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. I want to make sure most of you are ready for the next step. Oh, Melissa, 2 thumbs up. Nice. Oh, yeah, I see Andrea. Nice. All right, cool. Okay, and Jane, I see Jane too, and Vanessa, cool. So I think you guys, we're ready for really like the final assembly of our pouch, right? So, okay, let's see. So the way to do that is open your zipper about 3/4 of the way. Okay, it's important that you open it. You don't want things getting stuck. It's kind of difficult to open it when later on. And now I'm gonna bring my, move this a little bit farther so you can see maybe better. I'm going to bring my exterior panels right sides together and my linings right sides together. Okay, like so. So this is what it looks like. My linings are placed on top of each other and my exterior panels are placed on top of each other as well. I have my zipper in the middle. The zipper is opened about 2/4 of the way or 2/3 of the way. And now I'm going to clip along all the edges of the pouch. And I usually start around the zipper. And as you can see, your zipper naturally falls towards the lining. Okay, so leave it there. We want our zipper to be lying down on top of the lining like that. You see how it is here? Where the zipper is? So we want it here. And I'm going to line up these edges right here and put a clip here to hold it in place. And now I'm going to line up these edges right here where I added my contrasting fabrics together because I want it to all come out nice and lined up when I finish my stitching all the way around it. So again, I use a clip to hold it in place. And I come around to my second side of the zipper to attach it as well. And so now I have a zipper tab right here, or if you use the nylon zipper, you have zipper tabs on both sides. And I kind of fold the zipper tab right here to be pointing towards the lining. So I fold it a little bit like that, so it points towards the lining. Can you see? Yeah. And now I will fold these panels right sides together, line up the edges and clip in place again. And again, clip right here where everything is lined up. And now I'll just go around the whole pouch and clip my exterior panels right sides together and my linings right sides together as well. Just all the way around the pouch, both panels. And my lining too, these are easy because there are no other seams right there where we need to be careful. So I'll just do this. Okay. So once it's all clipped together like that. Yeah, perfect. It comes together nicely. You can, again, you can use pins for this step if you would like. So will you sew over the end of the zipper tab? No, I will not sew over the end of the zipper tab. So as you can see here, I will show you, like we have about, what is it? Like maybe 3/8 of an inch right here from the zipper tab room right here towards the end of the panel. So I'm going to use about 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I know that I will not sew over the zipper tab, okay? I don't want it in my final stitching at all. I will sew as close to it as possible, but not over it. I want the tab to be loose. So the tab is not gonna get caught in my stitches. And I will actually, as I'm coming close to the stitching, I'll feel it with my finger to see where the tab is, and I'll make sure I do not stitch over it. Okay, and we are going to be stitching all the way around the pouch using about 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I will backstitch at the beginning and end. We are not stitching into these notches. We are just stitching around the long edges all the way around. But we need to remember on the bottom edge of our lining to leave about a 4-inch opening, okay? So I sometimes, just to make sure I don't forget, I just mark it right here. And so I know I start here, go all the way around the pouch, come back and finish right here at this mark. And this is my opening right here. This is going to be my opening. No stitches go over it. So using 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so again, I start here and go all the way around the pouch. So I'll start here. I always start with the lining, so this way I don't forget that I need to leave the opening here. And you can use, yeah, like I said, 1/4 inch seam allowance, or even sometimes up to 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So just see what works well for you, especially about zipper, around zipper tabs. So I backstitch at the beginning and at end, and then just go around these long edges. So stitching right here. And I'm coming close to my zipper right here. Zipper tab is right here. I can see where it is, kind of, you see where my zipper tab is. I look at it and I know I'm not gonna stitch over it. I wanna make sure, even if I had to adjust my seam allowance, I would do that because I never want to stitch over the zipper tab, okay? So I'll stitch right next to it. You see, I can feel it. It's right here. I can even see it. And I'm stitching next to it. And now I stitch the rest of the line. And again.
Svetlana, Janet just said, wait, what did we do or not do with the notches at the bottom?
We are just leaving them the way they are right now. You see how I don't stitch around them at all? We'll address that in the next step. So you just stitch here, back stitch, and stitch again here. We leave these open. We don't do anything with them at the moment. Not yet, not yet. Okay, cool. So we just stitch around the long edges. And I'll go around my last long edge. And here I come to this mark right here, and so I backstitch. And that's it. That's the stitching I needed to go around the pouch. So you guys okay with this step? Oh, I think it turned it kind of right side up. Okay, I have to do it this way. But this is my pouch right here. You see how I stitched all the way around? So I left the opening right here in my lining. The opening is right here. Then I stitched here, all the way around the edge, along the bottom, along the side. And again, I stopped stitching right here. Here's where I marked my point. So what we need to do now is press these seams open. So these long seams open, okay? And the way to do that is you just do one side at a time. So press it, hit it with some steam, and press it all the way around the pouch. So do one side. So you do one whole side. Then once that side is done, you turn it the other side up like that and press the other side. Okay, so it's good to do a good job pressing the seams open, because it will make for a nicer finish for you. And here on this lining side, where we had an opening, we're just going to press it as if there were some stitches. Okay, so we kind of like guide it as if there were stitches. There are no stitches, but it will help us with closing this edge right here. And again, press this side as well. So on both sides, pressing the seams open. Here we go. And I need this side as well. Okay, so again, use some hot iron and some steam to just make sure that everything is nice and pressed. And again, press the last seam open. So. Okay. So how is everyone? Busy bees.
Still catching up a little bit.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
But I've been watching, so I think I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. And you know, like we said, like you can then watch the class again, right?
Yes, that'll be helpful.
Right.
I'm glad that that's available.
Yeah. Yeah. And also definitely the pictures that you have in your pattern, like
yes,
there are quite a few pictures there, so they should be helpful.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Good.
But I have picked up so many trips from you today. This has been wonderful.
Oh, that's really, yeah, I'm so glad to hear that.
Several of your patterns that I've made, but it's always fun to actually interact with the pattern maker, because you just learn so many things.
Yeah, makes sense. And like, there's only so much I can write in the pattern.
Exactly.
Like I can't do all the little things. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's been great.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. I'm glad. So somebody asked what to do once we sew around the edges. So let me show you how to finish it, because I know we're running over time. So this is just going to be, we are finishing now these little notches, gussets. So you fold these seams over each other. So the side and bottom seam over each other. And this way you flatten this edge right here. You see how nice and flat it becomes? Just clip it in place like so. And now I'm going to stitch along this edge using 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitching at the beginning and end. And this is going to give us the boxed corners. So again, I'll show you another one. So again, it's like kind of open up the whole thing, flatten up the seams over each other, and the whole thing becomes nice and straight that you can stitch along this edge, again, using 1/4 inch seam allowance. And do exactly the same thing for the lining and the exterior. So again, just opening it up right here, lining up the seams over each other, oops, like so. Clip it in place, and it doesn't have to be perfectly matched up here because you'll stitch it and only your stitching is shown in there, not that it might not match up exactly. And again, the same on the 4th corner, and this way all your corners will be finished. Oh, tantrums. Oh, tantrums are no fun. Have fun.
I'm glad you clarified that corner doesn't really have to match, because a lot of times it doesn't match for me, or that when you cut, you know, with rulers, sometimes they just not completely, and I'm frustrated.
Yeah, because, yeah, exactly. Because really you want to match up the seams over each other, but the little bit of fabric that's extra is no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, then you just stitch right here. Just make it all nice and flat. Make sure your seams are open. So when you're stitching, just pay attention so they don't get folded over, and just like that. And then it just makes this nice boxed corner right here. Is that good? Is that clear for everybody?
Yes.
Nice. Just go ahead and stitch all your corners, the 4 corners closed. And we are super close to be finished. All right. Do you guys have any questions, anybody? No, everyone's good. All right, so if some of you are already, I see some of you already being finished with your corners. So when you are, just turn the pouch right side out through this hole in the lining. So like kind of scrunch it up right here and bring the whole pouch right side out, like that. It's kind of like a little magic, how it makes it come out. So both the lining and the exterior, both panels out through the hole in the lining. And then I like to place my hand inside the pouch right here and smooth everything out from the inside. So I push out the corners, I smooth out these edges, making sure everything is as neat as possible. And then here, look at this zipper. Like then I'll just open the zipper here, and here is my zipper end tab. See, it's not stitched into the lining or into the pouch at all. it just stays nice and loose. And you can just with your finger, when you place it inside the pouch, you can sort of like pop that zipper tab out. So just help it come out. And really you can do a lot for your pouch by making sure that you smooth everything out on the inside and the outside, all the seams, all the edges. It actually looks much nicer when you spend a little bit of time just smoothing everything out. Okay, so once you have it out like that, then all you need to do is stitch this opening in the lining closed. And since we pressed the seams open, they would just fold in just like that for you. Then you clip it or pin it together and stitch along this, just the opening using 1/4 inch seam allowance, like back stitching at the beginning and end. And you'll close the opening. I've seen some people liking to get it done by hand, so the stitches are less visible. You could definitely do that. I usually don't bother. I just stitch along the edge, and it works fine. So yeah, so all you really need to do is just close this. What about the button? So yeah, let me close this and we'll get to the button, okay? So here, so I'll just stitch this closed. Here, like that. Okay. And once my lining is closed, I'm going to push the pouch, push the lining inside the exterior of the pouch. And again, I would smooth everything out, make sure my corners, lining corners are inside the exterior corners as well, so they all match up as neatly as possible. Here, see? Oh, it's actually such a nice pouch. I like this fabric. And then I just close my zipper, and as you fold the pouch over, like so, then you would add your button. Now, I didn't give the exact measurements for the button because it really depends on your exact seam allowance and your fabric and stuff like that. So fold it over and see, kind of pull on your button loop and see where the button should be. Okay, you want this lying nice and flat. So the button would probably be somewhere around, I think like it was like 2 3/4 inches up from this bottom edge, something like that. But just fold it down, mark where you put your where you need to put your button, and then just measure to make sure again that it's nicely centered. And then all you need to do is just add the button to your pouch, and that's it. You're finished. Yeah, so easy, easy peasy. Oh, wow, I see Jane is already finished with hers. Nice. Well done.
I've got to put
and I see Andrea. I see lots of pouches. Oh, so exciting.
Sorry,
and
I have to go now. Sorry.
Okay, Laurie.
Sorry, I've got to go now. I just wanted to show you what I've done so far.
Beautiful. Well done.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Well done.
Lovely, Laurie.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Are you happy?
I love it. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
brilliant.
glad.
Brilliant.
I'm glad.
Right, bye everyone. Have to go.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Lorraine is wiggling her bag. Let's have a look at
let's see. Her bag. Oh, how pretty. Lovely. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Well done.
Lovely.
Yeah, you just need a button, you're good to go, right?
Thank you, Lorraine. How about Elaine? Let's have a look at Elaine there.
Oh, nice. So pretty. Yeah,
Thank
I love
you.
that.
I really enjoyed it. Really
well done, Elaine.
Thank you.
Lovely job.
It was so fun. Yeah, it looks really lovely. Well done.
Thank you. Jenny Pilkington.
Yay. Oh, you even got the button done. Nice. Oh, it's pretty.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great class again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jane Thorne.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Nice. I've seen you there, Jane, sitting patiently in the corner, working away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Karen Helms.
Oh, nice. Karen's beautiful. Yeah, well done. I love the fabric you chose.
I sewed it upside down, but oh well.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's
like
lovely.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye.
John Baker. John Baker, are you ready? Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, how pretty. Yeah, it looks lovely. And again, beautiful fabric.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Jan. Susan Jennings.
Oh, that's cute.
That's pretty.
I love that.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and a button there. Love the big button.
Yeah.
So
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you, Susan.
Really cool.
Becky? You're on mute,
Oh,
darling.
nice.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I love that. Look at you.
Yeah.
What a fun idea. Uh-huh.
It was that's the same. I've used that as the lining side.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Very clever.
Very nice.
Hopefully
Nice.
my niece will like it. She's got a big yellow button. So
Yeah. Oh, pretty. I'm sure she will. It looks great.
Thank you, darling. Imka is next.
Oh, how pretty. I love that. Nice. Love your fabric. Yeah.
With flowers.
So cute.
Beautiful.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
And the tab is really nice as well.
Thank you,
The
darling.
ribbon.
Laurie next. Press your space bar, Laurie, because we can't hear you. Press your space bar.
There you go. How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So the machine messed up, and then I got behind on linings, but you will get the idea once it's all
I love
put
that.
together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nice.
And then I have to show you my huge button that I found.
Let's see.
Now I cannot put my hands on. It's here somewhere because I found it.
Let's see. Big buttons are so good.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And I dropped it.
That is the biggest button ever.
That is a big button.
yeah. Button award goes to you.
Yes. So, when it's done, it will be perfect.
Yes. You get the award for the biggest button.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. I had asked how often Svetlana, that you teach classes on CraftMonkey.
About every 3 months or so.
And what's the best way to keep up with that? I would love to do this again.
Well, you can have a look, Laurie, on Svetlana's Instagram, because she starts advertising her classes when.
That's how I found this one. Okay.
Please do follow us, CraftyMonkies, on Instagram.
I will.
Yeah, because
Absolutely
all of our classes are there, and we do all sorts of other stuff as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think my next one is it May 1st, Rachel? I forgot.
Should we tell people? We should tell people because it's rather exciting, lovely people. We have booked Svetlana in. She's May the 1st, and it's going to be the same time. It's a Saturday night, 4 till 7 p.m. our time, and it is May the 1st. But here's the thing. Svetlana is teaching something totally brand new for us.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a lovely bag. And of course it's a bag, but it's a very nice bag, and it's prototype at the moment, and it's brand new. And the first place to get it.
Is it available to sign up for yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I will keep my eye out.
I would say the end of March.
Okay.
We work on a 6-week deadline, Laurie. So
okay, gotcha.
6 weeks before.
Yeah.
So have a look at the website. Sign up to our newsletter, because everything is in the newsletter on a weekly basis.
I certainly will. Yes.
Exactly.
This was wonderful. I've enjoyed this. I haven't been able to do classes because of quarantine and I'm immunosuppressed, so I can't go anywhere. So this has just been good for my soul today.
Yeah, nice.
Laurie.
Nice.
So
good.
Thank you.
You're
yes.
welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Laurie, if you want something to do as well, on CraftyMonkies at the moment, we're doing something called #MonkeyMotivation, which is we're giving you prompts every day to do something to try and cheer you up. And we're just doing things like make a mandala out of your sewing kit today, or draw something today. And we're doing it every day.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
it is fun.
Wonderful. Okay, I will. Yeah, absolutely. All right,
let's
thank
just
you,
whiz
ladies.
around. Thank you, darling. Let's have a look at Rose.
Oh, so pretty. I love these.
I love the octopus.
Yes. Yeah, and you did such a good job placing them smack in the middle. Oh, so lovely.
Look at that. Beautiful
it's
lining.
beautiful. Well done.
I love it.
nice.
This was great.
Thank you. We have got Sandy up next.
Oh, so pretty again.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well done.
I've got Debbie.
Oh, nice. I love that you flipped the fabrics. Yeah, nice.
Oh, and I've taken it apart. You don't even want to see my zipper in the back. Look, I did that wrong.
It's okay.
I literally did the zipper 5 times. I put the lining in wrong twice. And then my button is a big flower also.
All right.
Oh,
very
cute.
Well done.
Oh,
well
good.
done.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Svetlana, for showing us how to do this.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Yeah. So cool to see.
It was a great
Yes,
time.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Debbie.
Bye-bye.
Andrea is next. Hey,
oh, another beautiful pouch.
Adorable.
Oh,
like
so
it.
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very pretty. Yeah.
Lovely.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I had a lot of fun.
Lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Really lovely.
We have got Sally up next. Thank you, Andrea.
I got 2.
You got 2. Look at you. Oh, so nice.
Hey, Sally, I'm feeling bad over here.
You know.
Brilliant class. Thank you so much. Fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah.
Vanessa, have you got anything to show us? Okay, Vanessa.
Oh, another beautiful pouch. Lovely.
I love it.
Love that fabric.
Oh, I like that. Look at you. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Vanessa's had a very full day today because she was in our morning class and now she's just done this class. So she
oh, you're ready for bed. Yeah.
Anybody else? Let's look. Susan. We're going to come to Susan now.
Oh, another beautiful one. Oh, I love that.
Lovely.
Very pretty.
A very nice one.
Yeah, such lovely combination. Love it. And the zipper, so cool. Nice.
Thank you,
done.
Susan. A nice top.
Oh, there's a button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, nice rose little post on
Very
Instagram.
nice.
Oh, so pretty.
Very pretty.
Yeah, nice. Love it. And blue is such a pretty color.
Lovely.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Susan. You're welcome, darling. Maya, let's have a look at Maya.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, and you have your button to match.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
It's really lovely.
Lovely. I love the joy on your face.
Well done.
Thank you,
Yes.
Maya. Mandy.
Nice.
Oh,
Another
look at
beautiful
hers.
pouch. Yeah. Oh, so pretty. Oh, such
Fantastic
posh
zipper.
lining. Right? Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. I've had such fun.
Oh,
good.
nice. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you, darling. Who else have we got left? Can someone hold up their bags? Wow. Okay, we've got Sean and then we'll come to Janet. So Sean is here.
So I haven't finished because my needle broke, but I'm making the crossbody bag. So I've got my
Okay. Oh, look at
my
you.
straps
Yeah.
on. Yeah. But I next time I must match my zip to my fabric because you can see when it's not straight when you use a cream one, right? But
Yeah.
I love this pattern. Can't wait to finish it. Thank you, Svetlana.
Wonderful.
It's
It
beautiful.
looks lovely.
Very nice.
Jacqueline Morris fabric.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Janet was next. Hey, Janet.
Oh, nice. How pretty that is. Yeah, beautiful. Well done.
Lovely. Who is left?
Oh, so cute.
We've got Virginia down there. Okay, Virginia, let's have a look.
Oh, nice. Look at the nice big button.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I love it. Yeah.
Ceramic button that I've been looking for a project to, I bought a long time ago that I've been looking for a project.
What a great idea.
Well, that was
Very
perfect.
It's been a great day. Thank you.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to show us?
Right here, Claire.
Right, I'll do Pamela and then I'll come to Claire. Okay, Pamela, let's do you and then I'll come to Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Look how pretty that is.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that's real nice.
I've not made anything like this before, so that was pretty fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, wonderful. Did a good job.
Great job. And Claire, you were next.
Yes, this is me.
Oh, how fun.
I was ripping the zipper apart because I forgot to put the lining, and I tore the zipper. But I know how to do it.
You'll get it done,
and that's fine. So this is it, and then this will be the button. It's a Bakelite. I found it.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah, what a fun combo. Yeah.
Yes. And then the lining this is the lining inside.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah.
So stylish. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Very nice. Good job.
I enjoyed your class very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm getting better at zippers. I do metal, but they just don't line up sometimes.
I know. Sometimes it takes just a little bit more.
Exactly.
Right. And I've done a lot of purses, but the metal ones always. But anyway, I had a wonderful time. Thank you very much. Look forward to another class.
Yeah, it was
thank you. That's wonderful.
Yes. And your instructions are perfect on paper.
Oh, thank you so much.
I really like it very much.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Have we got through everybody? I think we've got through everybody.
Yeah, cool.
So listen, a round of applause for Svetlana.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A lovely, lovely class, Svetlana. So thank you so
Lana,
much.
Where do you get your zippers from?
I buy them from Zip It Zippers in the US or Needled Boutique in the UK.
Okay, good. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And listen, guys, thank you to everybody who has come along tonight. I know we've run over, but I'm sure that the ones that are here don't mind now because you've all got to show your bags and you've made bags and we've had a lovely time. And what else are you going to do on lockdown?
Right.
So I wish you all, I don't know in the States if you celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow. I don't know, but I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Svetlana, can I just tell you something real quick? One of my friends, a good friend of mine, I had referred this pattern to her months ago, right? And she made so many of them. Beautiful.
Really?
And she even took one, she made it bigger, the pattern, and she made it into a backpack.
Oh, what a great idea.
Added the straps over. So I thought that was a good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, everybody, we shall end it there. And as I say, in about a week's time, just check your inboxes and spams. If you never get anything from me, just email me because I can get your emails because I've got lots of emails I can email from. So just email me and say, I haven't got my thing yet. And then I will get it out to you. But it will come out in one big email in about a week's time. Might be earlier if I get the class done, but in a week. And then it will, like I say, be on YouTube for 90 days. So you can watch to your heart's content. But thank you everybody for coming. I shall now end the class and let's give a big wave to everybody and thank you again, Svetlana.
Bye everyone. Thank you so much.
You all made it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.